Welcome everybody to our show. I'm broadcasting on many different levels. I'm glad to be here tonight with all of you. There we go. We will be broadcasting for the next 3 hours. I know, it's amazing. We do this basically every night except for Sunday night. We're now doing these shows on our Google Hangout or our YouTube Live, both of those, so that you can always watch this on and repeat via YouTube. So our YouTube channel is youtube.com/America's Third Party. Our Twitter is just @thirdparty. There's no Americas in our Twitter. It would be too long of a username to have America's Third Party on Twitter. You can also Facebook friend us. My Facebook is facebook.com/thirdparty. David Sponheim's Facebook is facebook.com/America's Third Party. All right, tonight we are here to talk about life, news, politics. I know that the Google Hangout, the chat only seems to happen if I invite people to actually be on the show, to have chatters as special guests. So I find either the best chat place is either battlecam.com/thirdparty or vonlive.tv/thirdparty. I also have ustream.tv/channel/America's Third Party. So all of those are possibilities. I'm also starting to broadcast on iBlog. I know iBlog's been out for a little while, and I haven't been, besides broadcasting just a few times when it first came out, I haven't been broadcasting as much there. So I might also try StreamUp, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I can't do both iBlog and StreamUp, but StreamUp, I was just going to check because sometimes they feature us over there. And it's wonderful that Mark Vaughn features us over at Vaughn. And I know sometimes we're featured at other sites. But it's really amazing, this world of digital live feed technology. It's, feels like you're interacting with people. Especially, I love the chat room feature. That's pretty much the best part. Okay, maybe I won't broadcast over there. Okay. Unless I want to interact with people. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. So right now I'm just going to catch myself up on some news, catch you up on some news, and we will go from there. My favorite source of news right now is Google News, mainly because they gather their sources from many different they have many different sources feeding into it. The first top story on there is that the Missouri governor is declaring an emergency, and he has set a curfew in Ferguson, Missouri. If you're not familiar with that, there was a shooting of an unarmed youth, I want to say, about a week ago by a police officer. Yesterday, they released the name of the officer that had done the shooting. A couple hours later, they released a video that said basically the youth that was shot, Mike Brown, was involved in a robbery earlier in the day. There was no robbery on the police vehicle, or at least if there was, it hasn't been released as far as I know. And there have been protests since then, pretty much every night. Only one night was only one evening was peaceful. They brought in an African American police officer that actually grew up in that area and is now a state patrol officer to kind of help ease the tensions there. Very big racially charged protests going on, and some people have been looting. So now they are setting a curfew and declaring a state of emergency. Obama has spoken on it about Ferguson, but hasn't actually traveled to that area to see what's happening in firsthand. I think even if the police officer goes on trial, I still think that this racially charged tension is going to continue to exist for some time into the future, and it's really up to people themselves to kind of take a step back from it and talk. Yes, I would say is the best thing. All right. In other news, Texas Governor Rick Perry has been indicted for abuse of power. Basically, he about a few years ago, he found this one lady. She is a government official and in Texas, and she was caught drunk driving, and he said, well, I want you to resign from your position, otherwise the government is not going to fund your department. Well, words are okay, he could have said that, but he actually vetoed any funding to her department. She chose not to step down, and now there has been a grand jury investigation into what he did, and they are indicting him on an abuse of power. This individual, the woman, let me get her name. What's interesting about her is she was actually a prosecutor, I believe. Let me double check. But she was actually a person that helped get Tom DeLay indicted on allegations of
embezzlement
of funds. So
Tom DeLay never spent a day in jail.
It's kind of interesting that she was a person that's, that he wanted her to step down, but she was someone who goes after abuse of power, and so now they're definitely going after his abuse of power.
So she's the one who's calling him out?
No, she. Let me find her name. She had drunk driving charges.
Against who?
Against this Lemberg is her name. Let me find her first name. Her last name is Lemberg, Lehmberg. She
behaved in an incredibly inappropriate way following her arrest and was abusive to law enforcement and had to be restrained.
She was shown in a video kicking the door of her cell, sticking her tongue out. She had a blood alcohol level of almost 3 times the legal limit, he said. Her name, she's a district attorney, Rosemary Lemberg.
Right. And he said that we weren't going to fund this office if she was going to behave this way.
Yes.
If she was heading up an office that we can't afford to fund, we don't need that person, he said.
Thanks, Hammer.
All right. And he's being now charged with what?
He's being charged with abuse of power for vetoing
her
funding.
Her funding, a $7.5 million appropriation to keep this woman funded. So he's really taking the law into his own hands, according to her, and abusing power. Interesting.
And I mean, she wasn't just the only one. There was a grand jury that met and talked about it. It's okay. You want to sit here?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
but I need to get some coffee. So why don't you just get
Okay.
comfortable with the show? We've got one chatter in here,
Well, we have Hammer.
and Hammer. And Ed, thanks for coming in. We'll work things out somehow, Ed. I'm not a person who holds any grudges. You know that. All right, let's see if Taylor Swift just took the ice bucket challenge. Watch her get drenched. Taylor Swift is becoming quite the talk of the town. You know.
Well, have you heard of the Ice Bucket Challenge? It's basically a thing. People dump ice water over their head, but it's an effort to get funding for ALS.
Oh.
So like
okay.
people are encouraging people to either dump ice water over their head and announce everybody, I support ALS, I'll have ice water dumped over my head,
Mm-hmm.
or to actually send in a donation to ALS.
There you go. I think any kind of a challenge to help funding charities makes sense. You know, like throwing sponges at people and having them knock off into water. That's great at the fair. That's always
yeah.
a good way to get money.
Oh yeah.
You know, anytime you can take out some of your vicarious thrills in life, why not? You know, we're all funded by volunteerism. I mean, look at Ed. He's the only person in our show, and he's the only person volunteering his time, only because he really wants to get back into the show. You know, and he's the only one really who cares
Well,
enough
you should take a phone call, I guess, from Ed, or I can go on Skype.
Well, Ed didn't get a chance to apologize this week, and I don't think he wants to apologize. So
I don't know if he feels like he did anything wrong. I don't know.
he doesn't think he did. He feels that I was ignoring him on the show, and I wasn't. I just didn't have anything up on StreamUp, and we had Hangout out, and we weren't on StreamUp every night. And that lack of predictability created kind of a problem for Ed.
I'm not on StreamUp
And he got
right
very
now.
angry.
Should I be on StreamUp?
No, I don't really think StreamUp is. Well, you know, if we don't get any chatters at Vaughn, yeah, I think we should go on StreamUp. I mean, why not? Jeez, I just can't get over where people are right now. I don't understand. Is
Well,
Vaughn
it's
working?
called Saturday night,
Saturday night and the night.
feeling's right.
The feeling's right.
and their feelings right for them to be gone.
Okay.
Maybe the chat isn't working.
I don't think it is. I think we have about 25 chatters in there, and no one can even tell if we're even in there. Hi, Ed. Yeah. It's Saturday night and the night. One man has died and dozens have been taken to a hospital after 35 people were discovered hiding inside a shipping container at Tilbury Docks in Essex, England on Saturday. They're trying to sneak into England. They find England to be a better place than where they are in Nairobi or wherever. A look at the Pope's visit to South Korea. Okay. Other things in the news. Yeah, I think Skype is dead, see? As is all other chat rooms.
Well, this isn't on StreamUp. This is.
See, it lost connection to chat. See what I'm saying? Oh, wait.
There it
What did
is.
Ed do? Hello, not Ed, not Tat as today.
It's not showing our chatters list.
Are they
Yeah.
anywhere that we are here? Are we
were
on?
not. We were unaware that you were here until
We
now.
were unable to see chat.
And now I'm still unable to see chatters.
We-
Hello, Ronnie.
We are now able to see chatters. Negatory on that. Thank you
Not
so
only
much.
did he say that
Hello,
he
Gino.
would veto the money to her, but he actually did veto the money to her.
Yes. So she's charging that Rick Perry violated executive privilege for the governorship of Texas. Thank you.
Sorry, 2566. Now we can address the chatters because before we could not see the chatters.
We ran across an article last week that said that computers could take over all journalistic practices on the internet. I was quite shocked that this article was written in such a way to imply that computers could possibly write copy for stories. Very interesting story, I might add. We featured that on Technology Thursday. Hello. If you're wondering why I'm behaving in any way robotic, it's to avoid any kind of sexual connotation in our room. We don't want to turn this show into sex chat, which is what it was last night. Moist and wet. We don't want to go there. This is a discussion of anti-war, although we do want to make love, not war. We don't really want to engage in the hyperbole, the tangential thinking that sex takes us. We want to focus on the kind of
God,
mistakes.
why do you go there?
I know. Why do they go there? And this
Why
is exactly my point. Don't talk about sex tonight. Just war. Talk about violence, talk about anything related to war, nothing related to love. Just war. We just want to talk about war. Morbid discussions only tonight, okay? Just morbid discussions. Anyone? Dave, did you hear any more news about the Rolling Stone journalist who car? No, 256. His car basically got hit by what appears to be some sort of a UAV, Tomahawk, probably a Laz rocket, who knows? We don't know anything else. The only thing that could put an engine 50 feet away from a car would be a Laz rocket. Yeah, apparently he was onto a story about Benghazi, but the story's been suppressed, and we never saw any piece of it. And I'm not about to uncover that rock because, as you know, I'd probably find a CIA agent sitting at his house going, "So you're here talking about Michael Hastings? We'd like to know who you are." Yeah. It looks pretty weird to me. Everything looks suspicious. There's a lot of stories that look suspicious about people getting offed in our country right now. That's one of the big ones. Thank you, 256. Yes,
Okay.
increase the peace. Let us slowly move toward peace, because obviously if we move rapidly, you see what happens with Barack Obama alienating Vladimir Putin, calling him a jackass. This is on the heels of signing some sort of a nuclear non-proliferation agreement in 2009, and now he's like put us on the brink of World War III with Vladimir Putin. They're calling it the Colder War. And even magazines like Newsweek, the last issue of Newsweek is going to have a cover talking about the fact that we need a new president, talking about the fact that we need to get rid of this guy in terms of, you know, he's of no use now. He'll be there, but I mean, who among the Democrats want to impeach him? It's pretty hard to find enough Democrats to even say he's doing anything wrong. I still hear people in the room saying, well, Obama is helping the economy and the economy is improving. I mean, it's almost like I wrote the songs that made the stupid people think. I mean, I wish these people would wake up. David, you talked about that already. I did. Let's talk about the Kurds attacking the ISIS followers during a demonstration in Copenhagen. Well, you know, the Kurds are actually picking up where the Shiites are needing some defense. The Kurds are stepping in and attacking rebel Sunni troops in Iraq. It's funny how we should go to that live leak, Alpha Dog. It's related to the war. Let's take a look at it. It's right up there.
Okay.
We're all going to need a fortress pretty soon if the world gets any weirder. Now, I'm officially against police brutality, as you know, and even though I know that this man in Ferguson, Missouri, was stealing cigars, I'm still very angry that he was shot and killed. But if he was going after the policeman's gun and they were struggling over the gun, that's a different story. No, there's a new one coming out, Topper Dan. It's the last issue of Newsweek. Yeah, it's coming out. Let's go there. Are you saying Newsweek is no longer being issued? Going to the White Castle. Okay. But I don't think you're really here for politics, but hey, if you want to say some things, he's saying, you don't live in fear. Let's get wasted. Going to the White Castle. Obviously played too many games today. Xbox, or what's your game, Butt Sniff? Xbox or PlayStation 4?
Well, I haven't voted since Ronald Reagan either. I decided to take on his entire persona. And now I live the Ronald Reagan life with my wife, Nancy. You're not Nancy. Oh my gosh, am I at the Alzheimer's clinic again? Well.
And by the way, Rick Perry's indictment is a joke. Texas governor has veto power with no restrictions. Case dismissed. Thank you, 814. You clarified our concerns about Rick Perry's abuse of power. Next. You guys are great. Thanks, Butt Sniff. Coming from you, that's a real compliment.
You might be right, 859.
No, he's your daddy. No, who's your daddy? Not he's your daddy. No, who's your daddy? Oh, what? Well, that's your father died? D.T. Laura? What? What happened? D.T. Laura, what? Is this something that happened recently? I know, 859 thinks he's right. Everyone thinks they're right. You got it. Okay. Wow. You were younger when it happened? I'm so sorry.
Well, somebody said he's your daddy, and
Oh. Well, I was saying, who's your daddy? Not he's your daddy. It's okay. Okay. I'm in a joking mood today. I feel I'm channeling with the late spirit of Robin Williams. You know that Robin Williams.
I can see you doing that.
Oh yeah. Well, people have already had discussions with him in heaven, and have gone on YouTube talking about their discussion with Robin Williams in heaven. And I was just wondering, seeing this is Saturday, the day of rest. The original day of rest was Sabado, Saturday, the day of the Sabbath, and then it changed to Sunday when Constantine decided to put it all together, and since he was a sun worshiper, he changed the day to Sunday. That's how the whole Saturday turned into Sunday rest time. But today is the day to talk about whether Robin Williams went to heaven or did he go to purgatory. Would you like to share? Do you believe a person who's cremated has a soul? And do you believe that that soul can go to heaven? I'm sorry, this is a political chat show. Why are we even talking about this? Because I was channeling with Robin Williams just now. Did you feel it? Did all of you feel the energy that Robin imbued in my body? No. Robin was good in the movie, 1 Hour Photo. I agree, Ronnie. Breaking story. Friend of Missouri cop who shot teen tells officer's side of story, WikiLeaks. Another good one from Alpha Dog. Are you clicking these WikiLeaks? Breaking story. Oh, hello everybody over at Hangout. Hey, I like the peace sign you put up. That's kind of cool. I'm just going to copy that right over there and move this over here.
I don't like to put that over.
I know, but the problem is I don't like to look at I don't like to look at it right here in the middle, because I have to take pictures of this.
Okay, that's fine.
That's kind of a problem for me. Alrighty then. Okay, breaking story. Let's take a look here. See, it's almost impossible to do this.
I know, that's why you...
All right. A woman named Josie, who says she's a friend of Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson, called into the Dana Loesch radio show today to offer Officer Wilson's side of the story. Officer Wilson was inadvertently part of a sad series of events that led to the explosion of violence in the suburban St. Louis community of Ferguson, Missouri this past week. He was finally identified by the local police after days of anonymity, and one can only guess that he now fears for his life and the lives of those around him. Listen to what Josie... This is how people talk in Missouri. It's the no BS state. It's the show me state. Listen to what Josie says is his side of the story. Here, I don't sound like a black guy. This sounds like a black guy. Here's a partial transcript, pair of the Gateway Pundit. He pulled up ahead of them, and then he got a call in that there was a strong-armed robbery, and they gave a description, and he's looking at them, and they got something in their hands, and it looks like it could be what, you know, those cigars or whatever. So goes in reverse back to them, tries to get out of his car. They slam his door shut violently. I think he said Michael did. And then he opened the car again. He tried to get out. He stands up. And then Michael just bum rushes him and shoves him back into his car, punches him in the face, and then Darren grabs for his gun. Michael grabbed for the gun. At one point, he got the gun entirely turned against his hip, and he shoves it away, and then the gun goes off. That's the story, according to friends of the cop.
Then Michael takes off and gets to be about 35 feet away.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Michael takes off. And Darren's first protocol is to pursue. So he stands up and yells, "Freeze!" Michael and his friend turn around, and Michael taunts him. And then all of a sudden, he just starts bum rushing him. He just started coming at him full speed. And so he just started shooting. And he just kept coming.
No, then the kid took off. Oh.
I'm right here. Let me scroll up a little bit. Sarah's reading a little different than me.
Sorry.
Well, have we read the minutes from last night's show, Sarah? Well, anyway, everyone else can read it. You can believe it or not, or you cannot believe it. David. Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl. Hi, Carl. Check this out. This is from Awesome Carl. Los Angeles considering a cash prize incentive to vote. Well, they should have done that in my area. We only had like 20,000 out of 50,000 potential voters in my election. Here's Los Angeles considering cash prize as incentive to vote. Well, would they give the cash to the illegal aliens if they voted? I mean, that's kind of where I'm wondering if California is trying to get more illegal aliens to get some cash. You know, Carl's not here. He's on the show. I'm in the cemetery because I'm here to talk about death.
Thanks, Life Invader.
The last frontier. Yo, Dave. Okay, man. All right, Life Invader. Smoking a joint in your honor. Thank you. Having peace and love and understanding. Well, this is kind of a love-in today. Butt Sniff, why don't you talk through some other orifice? I mean, you're talking death is painless. Have you been there, done that? I mean, hello? How many of you have died and come back to life? Anybody?
Oh.
Well, happy. Thank you very much. We're going to be a tribute to Elvis Presley. A hard-headed woman, soft-hearted man. Been the Elvis rebel ever since the world began. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing
since
that
the-
link with
yeah,
us, Carl.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Gets plenty of rest and drink plenty of fluids.
You know when you die, you don't feel. Butt Sniff. Come on, man. You don't know nothing about nothing. It's like the guy that walked up to me and said, Whitey, you don't know nothing about the civil rights movement. Well, I beg to differ with you. I believe they sold Wonder Bread during the civil rights, and I believe there possibly were crackers available to some of the people protesting in the civil rights movement. See what I mean, Whitey? You don't know nothing about cracker. Cracker? Yes, Elvis is not here. So, David, Australia is thinking of legalizing medicinal marijuana. I'm thinking about legalizing all marijuana in America, but thank you. I think it's all good, Life Invader. I embrace the legalization campaign 100%. I've seen so many people ruined by war, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I've seen them come back to life, walking around going with their vapor. Dude, I'm like totally cool now. I don't even like have any flashbacks for Danang, dude. Yeah, like I don't see Charlie like shitting me anymore, man. Cracker means cracker. When you get like cheese crackers, well, you know what I mean. All right, so we're going to talk about how we can mitigate the chances of war. One of the best things I think we could do as a nation is stop seeding war by starting rebellion around the world. Stop sending humanitarian aid to rebel troops.
Send humanitarian aid. Stop sending weapons and cash.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. No weapons and cash, but yes on humanitarian aid. Okay.
Yeah.
As long as the troops don't get it.
Bandages and food.
Bandages and food. So what about little packets of bandages and food that we could drop right on their butt? You know what I'm saying?
See, this is why I don't like it there.
I understand.
Because it always opens on this screen
You are right.
rather than
You
on
are
that
right.
screen.
You are right.
So then I can't see the chat.
Well, you're right again.
I know.
But let me show what I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to move it over.
Okay, thank you.
This is a concept where we believe we could provide a lot more security and safety and most of all, food and water to places around the world simply by dropping these on the areas in need. Now, this does not mean sending troops in. This isn't like standing there going Gomer Pyle saying, oh, yes, boots in the ground are needed. No, actually, this is just dropping biodegradable plastic bags and bottles with water so people can eat. It's that simple. This is my tool to stop war. You guys can think on that, munch on it, drink on it, puff on it. My background looks cluttered. Okay. Well, let's get rid of. I think that, frankly, I think the cemetery is really a downer for people.
Okay.
I'm going to do something a little different. Maybe, how about an infinite universe? You know that environmental shot that we do of the center of the universe? It's kind of cool. You get to have it going on behind you. Let me send this to the background.
Let us travel at the speed of light.
Yes.
Departing from our home star on a trip across the cosmos toward the edge of the known universe. Our imaginary journey begins at midnight on January 1st, when we prepare to launch into space at the speed of 186.
I do think we should send water and blankets, not gash.
Yeah.
We quickly pass the orbits of Mercury, Venus, and span the 93 million miles that separate the Earth from the Sun in just 8 minutes 19 seconds.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
We continue on, passing Mars.
Mars. Neptune.
Then the gas giant planets.
Neptune. Jupiter. Saturn.
Saturn.
What knocks them out is that
Uranus. Okay.
they drop these things in
Right back.
2-ton cargo containers right now.
Yeah, so this would be.
I think
Warlords did not get to it.
David has said it's sometimes frustrating. 859333. It's sometimes frustrating.
Edward. Edward, how are you? How's it going, Edward?
Just fine. Is this David Sponheim?
Sponheim. The name is Sponheim. What can I do for you?
This is
SPON.
Edward Snyder. I'm the secretary for the Seattle Rotary Club. How are you doing today?
We're doing okay. What's up with you? What can I do for you?
I think it's disgusting.
All right. That's great. Well, it's good we got a comment from the local, what do you call that? The local gallery of some sort? Peanut Gallery. The Peanut Gallery called in. Great. Bring it. God, some of these people. It could be, Sarah, we're suffering from what is called, you know, the attack of mindlessness.
Sarah will never do that, Ivan.
The mindlessness attack.
Sarah will never do that.
Okay. What else is on your mind, everybody? We're talking about how to end war and stop the war machine of Rick Larson. Anybody have any ideas? Yeah. How do you stop a two-faced glad-hander like Rick Larson from endorsing the military-industrial complex and forcing our local area into a virtual siege of jets flying over our head at 120 decibels? How do you stop this? How do you begin the process of pulling back from the war machine that he ratified? Rick Larson ratified the war in Iraq. I did not. You got to understand, I'm doing everything I can to help you people avoid war, and you, unfortunately, don't understand that. A lot of you people think all your jobs are hinged on these massive jets that blow out fumes and knock us into hell every day. We're sitting in one of the most beautiful areas of the world, folks, and they're crapping petroleum all over our beautiful area. So we're right in the vortex, we're in the poop chute, if you will, of the war machine we call America. That's my job to stop it. And we need to stop war because we've had two parties engage in every imaginable battle, all under the aegis of low-intensity conflict. The very thing that Henry Kissinger put out in the 1970s, and it's still, to this day. It is a nice picture, isn't it? It's pretty. Crying shame. And we see this area being polluted every day, and for some people it's just, well, you got to put up with this in order to be strong against the terrorists. The terrorists aren't striking our country. It's arguable whether they even struck in 2001. It really is. It's arguable whether those people were really terrorists. They were definitely people who were trained terrorists, but were they being funded by terrorists? Was that a plan that was put together by Osama bin Laden, or was it some sort of an orchestrated inside job? And that's what a lot of people are asking. But we can't even get our word out because we're suppressed by you jarheads who run around stealing my signs and preventing me from even getting near the second place position, which I would have been near. I was probably, I would say, 5,000 to 7,000 votes away. That would have made a big difference if you hadn't stolen my signs. But these people want to win by cheating. They want to control our country by cheating. They want to push us closer to the brink of war by cheating. We are being plagued with these corrupt pigs in our government, and these are the kind of cronies that call up. Hey, Chad, can I help you? Oh, cool. Hang on.
Truth right now.
What's that? I'm talking the truth right now. Thank you, man. Thanks, Chad.
I'm like blown away at like the way like you just like taking on like the idiots of America and everything.
Thank you. We're going to put signs up, and I'm going to run as a write-in. Yeah. We're going to do it, man. We got to take these people to the mat. They're trying to cheat and steal. And when I got calls from these people, they're all inebriated. They're all like heavily drinking. Not that I don't, like an occasional beer now and then, but seriously, these guys are major drinkers, and that's what it's like, an old boys club of cronies that just want to get elected and steal our tax dollars. Thank you.
Hey, you know what? You really don't need. You should like think about getting buttons that you can put on people, so like when they go to vote, they know your name and they know like.
I know.
What to write in. Like,
you're right. That's a great idea. Let's get some buttons and distribute them around, or bumper stickers. Bumper stickers.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bumper stickers might even be coming back. Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. Right on. Good idea. Buttons are hard to distribute, and I could put them out, and people would probably throw them in the garbage because there's some people that just want to literally sabotage my campaign. But bumper stickers might be something I can roll out real quick in the area locally, and people could hand them out to their family members.
They're getting ready to
Depends on how much anger is out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to dig the world's largest open
Well,
pit
that's
mine.
pretty much all I wanted to say. I mean, I
Okay.
think you're doing a great job. I'm really going for you. I
Right
hope
on.
you make it to the big times and presidency and everything else.
Right on, Chad. Well, stay in touch. Maybe we can get you a job in the administration in 2017. You never know. Or whenever we move forward, because obviously for a lot of people the economy is really hitting hard, and for the people in office, they like, oh, economy's getting better. I think most people are saying, are you serious? I mean, double incomes can't even meet the minimums on their payments now. So I think we got a real divide going between what the Democrats, Republicans call our nation and what the American people are feeling every day. And I think that's the part that we have to kind of work with, because those are the people that are going to be the future voters of a better country. The ones that are in power right now are just basically doing everything they can to hold on to it, which is wrong. You don't hold on to power just for power's sake. You got to solve problems.
Yeah. It's a shame.
It is a
It's
shame.
delusions. That's what it is. Delusions of money.
Right. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep the current brewery in place, the White House. Yes. We want to make sure the White House pays for itself. So in any way I can make money, I'm going to sell brew. We're going to change the recipe and put blueberries in it and make a blueberry Hefeweizen. That'll be our brand. And we're going to sell those six-packs to make money back for the government, for the White House, actually. I mean, enough of this president relying on all this money, too. I won't be going on a lot of vacations either, like Obama did. Yeah, we are in a depression. It was confirmed last night on CNN. Good. Well, I confirmed it in 2010. We were in a depression. The Democrats have been in denial for so long. They're not. This isn't a recovery. This has been a recover-up. So, well, great, Chad. Are you?
That's the exact word for it.
It's a recover-up. Yeah. So they're using printed money. It's no big secret. They're using printed money to give to the big bankers, buying up mortgage-backed securities, and flooding the Wall Street market with big money. Not anything to the American people. Not to American business to create jobs and products, but rather just giving it to the big bankers to buy time. That's what they're doing. And it pays for the pension plans of a lot of older people, and the government continues to expand the debt, like our local Washington government is $90 billion now in debt. And they just think this is the way it's going to go forever. They don't realize that we're coming to a crashing halt pretty dang soon.
That is true. That's very, very true. You're right on the button with that one.
Yeah. Anyway, it's good to hear a person call up and say nice things about what we're doing, because I get a lot of flack from people who just don't understand that at the bottom of this is opportunity for Americans, average Americans. I'm not a Top Gun. I don't fly an F-18. I don't bring down $100,000 a year in salary. I don't really want to. I don't want to take that risk, frankly. And I don't even know how effective the F-18s are in fighting battles, because we haven't even used many in battle. We use them for reconnaissance and electronic surveillance, and those aren't even F-18s we're using. We're using other type planes. So what's happening is the war machine of Lockheed Martin and Boeing and others has basically increased the amount of budget, has increased the amount of money, printing up more and more money for the government so that they can profit to make more irrelevant weapons of mass destruction. A call sign. Ooh, yeah. Dial 707, your ATP. I was not in the Air Force. No. Topper Dan, you traveled everywhere you go, things are looking up. Why don't you go to Toledo, Ohio, Topper Dan, and start looking up? In fact, don't look up, look down. You can't even drink the frickin' water. Frickin' frack. That's right. I've used frickin' occasionally. I'm not pro anything like that, Ivan. You know that. You're sick, Ivan. Get some help. She has. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love the Little House on the Prairie.
Sarah does look kind of like Laura Ingalls tonight. It's Peter Rockwell. Hello, Peter. Peter. Judy. All you need is ATP van with Rodney head sticking out in the top of the balloon. So, get a bleeping job. Ed, I think that was actually funny. Ed, did you see that, Rodney? Oh, come on, Rodney. Stop with the sex jokes. Ed actually said a funny. I want you to acknowledge Ed just for once in your life. Acknowledge a former homeless person, Rodney. Reach out. Show some kind, caring, American, just niceness. Please. Sarah is. Is she like, didn't you like Laura Ingalls when you were growing up?
Yeah, I always liked Laura Ingalls, yeah.
Rattlesnake, none of the money that comes into our show through donations goes to me personally. I'm using all of that for my campaign to get elected President of the United States in 2016. All the funds are completely available for you to look at FEC.gov and search term David John Sponheim, Jon. I'm going to use this right now and get a, no, seriously. You have no need to worry about me. No, Ed never sent me any money. Everything is transparent with us. We're not really looking to profit from what we're doing. At least at this point. We want to give this party over in 2016 to you. But if you don't want to take the party and you don't want to get me on a ballot in any state, hey, this whole event will become a social network. Beyond that, I don't know about a party. I'll still run for president at davidsponheim.com, but I definitely can't guarantee that I'm going to be keeping America's third party completely FEC compliant past 2016. I mean, seriously. What's a guy going to do? I mean, I'm doing everything I can. We're 6 years into this, and you guys can't even get me on the ballot. So,
Sorry.
well, it's the only problem with having 3 monitors.
That overlap each other.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's legible, but whatever. No, I'm not balding. There's no balding in here. That's a line. I actually have a part today. Yeah. The hills are alive with the sound of silence. The hills are so fun. There's supposedly a new Sound of Music made recently with Katie Cartwright, or is that the name? Katie Cartwright? Is it a famous singer from America's? I don't need Miracle-Gro in my hair. My hair is doing fine. No, I can't keep NASA off of the Teamsters Mafia account. What are you talking about, the Teamsters Mafia and NASA? I didn't even know there was a NASA Teamster Mafia conflict. Are you talking about the NSA or NASA? The headshots, Roddy? No, this is not a time for you to touch yourself. I am not. Well, let's be clear. I'm not Obama 2.0. Nope. Now that's just silly. What makes you think that I'm even remotely like Barack Obama? I like it too, Night Fox. It reminds me of what I'd like to do with the lady of my dreams sitting next to me, traveling through the mythical paradise of nature when I have a jet, an F-18 fly over my head at 300 feet with 120 decibels, fracturing my liver. Rattlesnake, I don't care if everything is brought back up. We've got recordings of every single show. And we try to maintain these recordings at all times so that you guys can copy them. And we're going to be putting these on a multi-disc set. So if you want to use everything I say against me, I'm going to give you a license to do that. Yeah. We'll actually make this DVD collection available someday. You'll be able to watch, I believe, close to 6,000 hours of our show. It'll keep you alive in your bomb shelter as nuclear war is flying overhead, and you say to yourself, Man, why didn't I get that guy on the ballot? Instead, we've allowed Hillary Clinton to destroy our nation and take us to nuclear war. Gee, I sure am glad I have his box set I can watch all 6,000 hours of his broadcast and know that I never did one thing to get him on the ballot. 1,700 plus shows, that's right. This guy thinks he'll be president? Classic discount. Well, let's take a look at Rodney there. Go ahead. I don't know. I got a lot of Democrats in the room who think that you can get rid of that. That's, everything he does is insane. I have survived what appears to be a lie perpetrated on the internet. I was traveling through Montana with Sarah 2 years ago, our 2012 summer trip, and there was a massive fire down in Colorado. And that fire was blowing up like no other storm, right into our car. And I drove through what appears to be a 15-mile stretch of pure smoke. Now, I don't know about you, but that's as close to driving through a forest fire as I can think of, Rodney. So why don't you take that video?
It was really smoky. I wasn't sure if there was a forest fire or not.
Yeah. Take that video and shove it. Yeah, I drove through a forest fire,
just around
smoke around us.
There's a lot of smoke. Well,
No.
The worst part about a fire is the smoke, Rodney.
I will never allow the staff members of the White House to have sexual relations with anyone in the White House, ever, under any circumstances, including myself. I'm going to put a webcam under the desk at the Oval Office, just to be sure it's safe. We're not like the Democratic Party where everybody drinks. No, I'm not going to do anything nasty in the White House. I told you that. Not like Barack Obama. I don't have a chance at running for president. I am running for president, you Nimrod. What do you think we do every night? This is a show dedicated to you and the advancement of your brain power. Right now, you're kind of working your way up the totem pole here, because some of us are sitting at the top looking down, going, oh, look at all the Obama-tards down there that made the mistake voting for Obama in the past election. Ooh, we're way smarter than you, and we could do a lot better with this country right now. You are screwing us over. You Democrats need to step aside and let a centrist party form in this country. You should do the right thing and just go home and start drinking, which is probably what most Democrats are doing right now. I can't believe this guy even thinks he's got a chance to get in a ballot when we steal his signs. I mean, seriously. Well, maybe some of you are drinking, but we don't need to be dedicated to alcohol here, not like Barack Obama. You don't have a chance to debate me, America's Fifth Party. I'm not going to be debating anybody at all until I get to debate the Republicans and Democrats. I'll say whatever I have to say, Palmina. We've got to cut through the chase here. Cut through the chase. Let's move on. Another anonymous call? Don't you guys have a personality? TV for prez. No. No. No, Ed. Sorry. We're still on cooldown. We're still in the cooldown phase. Thank you, though. Thanks for calling. David, do you seriously think Clinton is the only president to get a beep beep in the old beep beep? Topper Dan, you are as disgusting. Are you implying that Barack Obama had sex with Reggie Love in the White House? Do you know what kind of allegations that is? I don't even think it is an allegation. I think it's a fact. Barack Obama had 3 years with Reggie Love before people realized this guy who was into soft porn and drugs was living in the Oval Office with Barack Obama. Now, do any of you Democrats not know that? Yeah, exactly. He's gay. Listen to what Joan Rivers said the other day. Everybody knows it. Get over it. Michelle's a man. By the way, we got to get Joan Rivers on the phone, email her or something. She's got a new show on YouTube. I'd love to get her on the horn here. Ladies and gentlemen, David's Black Fruit segment. Why is it I need money to run in a country that's dedicated to democracy and freedom? 641. Why is it I need money? And what kind of a country do you live in where money is important to provide freedom and democracy? Do you even have a brain to think that thought through? Please? I don't even need to get into a debate with the Democrats, Republicans. All I have to look at is the entire failed economy. I can just say, hey, case in point, the failed economy. Next question. I mean, almost every question will end up in, it's the economy, stupid. It's the failed economy. Next question. So why do you think you'd be better as a presidential candidate, David? Well, number one, a breath of fresh air for America. A third party will tell other countries that we are not in any way like the two parties. We don't want extended war. We don't want to push America's military ethos on the rest of the world. You know, Topper Dan, there was evidence that Eisenhower may have had a relationship with a girlfriend. There's talk about JFK having a few lovers in the wine room. But seriously, why is that an issue right now? Well, I don't think Joan Rivers is not the source of all knowledge. She said, everybody knows it. Everybody knows that Michelle's a guy. She said it. Because you are very important, you can be president. Another anonymous caller.
Ohio had to shut down their water system in the northwest corner of the state last week.
Okay. Hey, Ed, how you doing?
Due to Lake Erie having
yeah, I know who you are,
toxin
Ed.
released by algae.
What do you want to talk about, personally?
You think Michelle Obama should write a tell-all book and divorce Barack? Maybe
Well,
she'll
you.
do that after he's out of the White House. I think she likes being his.
I did live in my car for a year. Yes, I did. I don't have a college degree. I don't need one. I have 185 IQ. I never had no. I have a septic system. I don't go to the bathroom in our water supply. I don't know if there's a lot better Jewish comedians than Joan. I mean, she's much better than Shecky Green. Have you ever been to the Catskills and seen Shecky Green on a good night? Delusional people are not here. I'm not delusional. I'm telling you the truth. Smoke break. Top 3 stories. Ferguson. My top story is, isn't it strange that all the problems in Iraq started right after Obama exchanged those 5 terrorists for a known deserter, Bergdahl? Literally a week later, after those 5 known terrorists that killed thousands of our men, the problems in Iraq got worse. Isn't that interesting? You saw Lola Falana in the Catskills? That must have been one heck of a deal. Lola Falana. Oy vey. Did you pay a lot for that? Like $1.99 per seat? No, we're not appointing Roseanne Barr to anything. She's never contacted me. If she wants to contact me sometime during my rise to power, bring it. I'd love to talk to Roseanne. I'm concerned about the issues of the Green Party, actually. But she's got her own version of the Green Party. Well, soon we will have better than vampire teeth. Have no fear. The new look is coming. It's near. That's right. I'm actually having a whole new look. I've contacted an expert facial reconstructive surgeon, and I'm going to try to look more like my original form of who I really am inside, not the decayed human being that I've evolved into, looking as bad as I do. Soon I'll have a new look, folks. Don't worry. A more presidential look. I don't have any femininity, Topper. Oh, you're talking to Sarah. Oh, that's nice. I've never been sick. No, we've had a continuous run for 6 years now, and I haven't been sick once. I don't have the same immunity problems that most humans suffer from. Being an android with extra tough Teflon exterior outer structure, I'm impervious to viruses and bacteria. I admit I am not human. Just because David isn't qualified or experienced a position of any sort of power, I have 1% faith in his ability to govern the country. That percentage is pretty good, I think. Get the qualifications, David, and I will jump up. Sheep, you don't have to worry about me. You're going to watch the entire country fall so down that they're going to be lucky to have me run their country. I'm a person who can think on my feet. I don't use the same structure of thinking that most academics use. I am a kind of a freewheeling floating point technologist. I can answer questions on the fly. I do not need to respond to a teleprompter to respond to you. David, are you in the closet? Because if you are, I'd certainly like a date. Look, I don't cater to a lot of homosexuals in this room, so please, don't even come here asking me if I'm in the closet. Of course I'm not. I'm a blatantly open heterosexual. Blatantly. You're a girl, you idiot. So why are you into gay guys? Are you some sort of a fag hag? Fat? Overweight? Figured. All right, let me guess. Are you in the thespian club? Next question. Yeah,
So there's
thank
a lot
you.
of there's toxic algal blooms in the Great Lakes, and it's affecting the drinking water in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh my
They're
God.
under a do not drink advisory.
You really think it's toxic algal blooms?
There's 500,000 water users in and around Toledo. Yeah, and the Ohio governor says we do have a problem with these toxic algal blooms.
Let me ask you.
Affect both
Yeah.
drinking water and water safety.
I love homosexuals. What do you mean, hate homosexuals? I love the sinner and despise the sin. Have you ever heard that term?
Thanks, Ronnie.
Name your price. I don't have any thoughts on a food item. It's like asking me, do I have a comment on sourdough pizza? No, I don't care about some Israeli food dish. Thank you. I just used the term fag hag. Yeah, absolutely. That woman was calling me out as some sort of a gay guy, and I'm not. And I take offense to people doing that. So, yeah, I don't mind calling her out as a fag hag. Next question. Go ahead. David, you'll always look like $1,000,000 shekels. Well, thank you so much, Randall. It's so nice of you to come in. Thank you for taking the time from synagogue and Shabbat. Did you leave the computer on during Shabbat? He always admires us. You know, I appreciate it, Randall. Thank you. That makes me feel good. I'm 54 years old, and I can tell you, I feel better than I did when I was 25 with the miracle of anti-aging mentality. That's right. I use a type of meditation, believe it or not, called, well, I can tell you, can't I?
You can tell us whatever you want, Dad. David.
Yeah, Dad. Yes, Dad. Dad.
I said David. I don't know. I'm tired.
Dad? Are you my daughter? Oh my gosh.
No.
This is a shocker. Top or down? David, how can we be sure you aren't a narcissist? Why don't you give me a narcissist general test? Ask me questions related to narcissism and I'll answer. Sarah is 18 years younger than me.
Yeah, me too, Pegasus. I was like, that was a facepalm moment for sure.
Yeah, really. No, I do not have a problem with African Americans. I actually like African Americans, and I welcome them to an interracial rap session, which we can engage in right now. If you'd like, I'll start it up with the first interracial rap song by Sugar Hill the Gang. We'll go hip, hop, da hippity, da hippity, hip, hip, da hop. You don't stop rocking till the band stops playing and sing up, chuck the boogie to the band of the boogie to beat. I go hee-bop, roo-bop, Scooby-Doo. Guess what? America, I love you. I love people of all colors. I do. David, how can we, you said that. Say it again. Stop spamming or I will completely ruin you. Yeah. You should know better than that. Believe me, there's nothing to kindly disclose. Sarah and I are an open book. I'm not a racist and I'm not a narcissist, and you need to go away. Go away, little girl.
Yes, we did meet online.
Go away, little girl. Yeah, I think David's songs and impressions will get him elected too.
Well, if I talk like Ronald Reagan more often, I'm sure I'll pull some of those Republican votes, and I'm sure our country can get back on track. You know, I did a lot of work for the Gipper, and I did a lot of work for Nancy. But I forgot what I was going to say, so please let me bow out gracefully.
Yeah, the blackface proves I'm not a racist. Exactly, good point. That's not true. That's a lie. You have been purged. All right, so what do you want to talk about? How do you stop war when a president...
Stevie has a link for you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mad Dog.
Where is it?
Over in Battle Camp.
Oh, Stevie. Okay. What do you do when a president... How do you handle a wild president? President handler.
Oh, this is just a song. Never mind.
Yeah. Those things can kind of mess us up, you know, those YouTube stuff. Well, the fact is we got a president that's engaged in hostility and egomania with Vladimir Putin, putting us in what is called the Colder War now. We've got a situation evolving in Ukraine that is getting worse right now. There has been a major interchange between Ukrainian forces and Russian forces yesterday. Well, that's just Chopper Dan. That would not be me. I'm Mr. Frisky. You know, I have never engaged in that type of thing. So please, I told you, no fag hags allowed in the room. Thank you.
No, I'm sorry, unknown world.
We met on
That's because your mind is in an unknown world.
Yeah, exactly. We met.
It's more exciting than Earth.
Unknown world. We met in a network far, far away, in a galaxy far, far away. Anyone who's 17 must leave now. No, we have learned the secret to non-boredom. You see, Unknown World, we broadcast on TV. You watch
Is that
TV.
the secret?
The secret is you broadcast, you don't get bored.
Mm.
Please, guys, hold it down a little bit. Mad Dog really can taste the fluoride in his water tonight. Yeah, I'm getting thirsty. Do you have any water left
I
here?
don't think so.
Okay, let me get some more water. We met in a thing called Excite.com. It's no longer a network. Well, name your price. We have a whole list of the IP address. We can't really...
Topper Dan, why
know.
do you repeat your question? I guess you repeat because you want everything to be answered.
I told him to stop that or I'm going to ban him.
Yeah, so I don't want to talk about that, Topper Dan. I will say that much. I don't think that's any of your business. Thank you. So now you have your question answered. Move on to the something else. And I'm sorry the video is frozen over at iVlog.tv. If you want to still chat there on iVlog, but you want to see better video, just go to youtube.com/America's Third Party because we have our video there. It's being recorded. I was 20 years old when I met David. Yeah, Hammer. I used to have the weekends with David, and then he decided to start a show on Saturday. So, but yeah, I mean, Saturdays we still go out during the day, but it's anyway, it's not that I don't want to be here. I like being here with all of you. I like the interaction. I like the chat. That's really fun. But it's you know. Yes, David and I are an item. Stevie, is that a link to? It's the same link to the same song. Thanks, Smoke Break. Yes. Well, I understand you had to keep asking a question in order to get it answered, but it's sometimes I ignore some of the questions because I purposely don't want to answer them. Yeah, I know. You understand you like seeing us, but sometimes we need a break. No, I've never considered leaving David. I've made a lifetime commitment to be with David, and I will be with him as long as we're both alive. Thank you, 1643, for being so superficial. Thank you very much, Sheep. And I will even be working on other things. Because mine fell, Smoke Break. And yours might not have. Thank you. Yes, David knows my mom very well, and all of my parents both my parents, not all of my parents. I only have 2. Some people have more than that, but I have 2. Okay, well, like David already answered that question. Thanks, Hammer. My conservative what? So are you a super liberal 1603? What do you think we should do with a country? I'm not threatening to ban anyone. Thank you very much, 937. Hello, 700. Not yet. And I'm going to just call you Zout, because I don't like the full name. Or B.O.? No, that's not good. Sorry. I did, but not yet. David did not ask my hand in marriage. It's flat right now, not sharp.
You know what?
Please notice me, Sensei. Yes. Was David ever in the movies?
No, never was.
He was always on broadcasting for the last 6 years.
I was in production, but I was never in the movies. My time at Dallas is, I don't want to go, yeah, thank you. I was never in the porn business. David, can you do Robert Redford? I wouldn't want to do an old man, and I'm not gay, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, thank you, Hammer. This isn't, it's all good.
Nothing to show for it. You got to be kidding me. Oh my God, you have so little knowledge of what we're doing, do you? Wow.
There have been times that have been difficult for the party, but both of us have talked about it and have decided to never close America's third party.
No.
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 Are
David,
you talking about David?
I'm not, but your part of me is always gay. Always pleased to see me. Okay, great. David Mork from York, I don't want to do that. I don't want to, it's too early in the day to do a Robin Williams impersonation. I didn't even think Robin Williams was ever going to die. I mean, I believed he was going to live forever. I can do broadcasting during my time at the Oval Office. I can definitely broadcast. I can have a collection of cigars.
Give David a kiss.
Thank you, Sarah. I have never kissed Sarah on camera except once over the Niagara Falls, and I want to make sure you know that the next kiss will be extraordinary. I always feel a little embarrassed when Sarah kisses me because, yeah, she is pretty with no makeup. It's true. Yeah. What do you think? I am a vampire.
The relationship is real.
I know.
Wow, Sarah really loves David.
Well, I haven't had much airtime. Unknown World asked me how much time I've had in the mainstream media, Sarah, and I haven't had more than 2 seconds, I think. I think we had a story mentioned to us about us in the Washington Post. That's the largest media network that ever talked about what we were doing, and that was the Centrist Alliance at the time. I've never kissed a guy, Gio. I'm sorry, I have to let you down there. I'm not really interested in kissing man. I don't use grease. Yeah, it was highly bad for your complexion. Grease can clog your pores and create whiteheads, which turn into zits, which have big, huge corpuscles that bust and have pus that oozes all over your face. So I try to avoid grease. No, I never spend a bottle. This David Spoonheim is so wannabe gay, it's amazing. Dude, you are so bi-curious. You should just make a commitment to be like John Travolta.
No, Pegasus, I take the summer off.
Grease is the word.
Okay, 58186. From now on, that will be
More Fukushima news. More about the death of the ocean.
I don't believe that site.
E-News put out a very dangerous thing. Devastating mystery illness hits California horses. Nobody will even tell us what it is. Skin falling off, painful lesions, even swollen shut liver damage, fainting, Never seen anything like it in 40-year career. We're going to look at this, Sarah, whether you like it or not. Here we go. Sarah's going to watch something she's not happy with here. Are you ready? And you're going to see her face kind of like, ugh. She has a very expressive face, as you know. Here we go. Devastating mystery. This is from E! News, everybody. E! News.
E&E.
E! News.
Any news? Nano.
Look at this. Lesions on their back. I got my national champion who her entire body, her entire skin is going to fall off, folks.
That's sad.
So you don't think this is dangerous of radiation affecting horses in California? I told you about the radiation on the coastline, didn't I? She doesn't want to believe that this site's for real.
Sure. I mean, it's a real site, but
Oh, God, Topper Dan. You are so out of here. God, this guy never learns, does he?
they just linked it. You want us to link it too?
Hang on.
Just link it.
No, I just want to ban these people.
No, I'm not banning anymore.
Well, these two guys are really out of control. These are real pictures, Sarah. They're not fake. So you're not really quite ready to reveal your concerns at this time. You're holding judgment to believe whether this is radiation affected all across the nation. I mean,
Thanks, Irish.
there's animals showing up on the beach. There are sperm whale babies floating in Venice.
Right. I just.
You don't. Half the entire British Columbia coastline is dead. All the little tide pools are living wastelands or non-living wastelands. And now Ebola comes to our country. Obama brings in Ebola. Is this some sort of a nightmare we're living in here? No, Sarah has nothing to do with blackface. I am the only one involved in that, Gio.
No, I won't.
Sarah will never be a part of that. You know, if you think I have zero leadership skills or charisma, why don't you just leave? Yeah, Topper Dan. He comes in as a guest. Look at that. Oh, it's so funny. This is legit, Davey. I know, Jet. I know. All I can tell you is it looks to me like Energy News, what I read of it, is all legitimate. Blackface is great satire.
Well, I think you
Thank you.
believe that E&E News is all legitimate because it says everything you want to believe.
I don't want to believe that the Fukushima radiation is spilling into the ocean at 5 swimming pool fulls a day. It is. I don't want to believe it. It really is. God. No, that's not correct, Rodney. No. The party never endorsed blackface. That was my doing at David Sponheim's YouTube site. Hey, we all have our individual beliefs, and I needed something to go viral. It's going to work for me, don't worry. It will be a smash hit, you know it. I can feel it. Gio, I've followed a lot of bullets in my life to the top of the charts. Like, gotta be, you light up my life. Debbie Boone, right? Bullet, top of the chart. Well, you can imagine what Blackface 2 is going to do when I sing, you light up my life. You know, that's going to be a real hit. I can feel it. I don't get naked. I was born with a bodysuit. It's part of my exoskeleton. I'm a cybernetic organism. Human flesh over exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get selected.
What do we have this guy here for?
That's probably somebody unrelated.
No. All right, so let's go. So Sarah continues to support Sinuates. She supports you, and no, never did. Never did, Rodney. You're working a dead horse there. Sarah never made a comment endorsing what I did, ever. Please, end the racist slurs. I beg of you. Ronnie, that includes you.
That's not, Ronnie's not doing any racist slurs. He's saying David John Sponheim for president.
Well, I only banned a couple people. It was a quick ban. It was the same guy coming back 2 times. I remember when people used to DDoS, David, and they would play the pee-pee song. Those were the good old days, America's third party, everybody. Yep, way back in the good old days. Thank you, 429. Way back in the good old days, David even supported seawater. That's why he had the seawater pipeline he created in 2005 as part of a long-term goal of creating fresh water for all the starving people in the universe. But no one really gave a crap, so David's idea basically dissolved, just like the seawater.
It's called Focusing 678 too.
I did believe in Y2K. Sarah and I met because of Y2K, Unknown World. We got together and I convinced her to move up here and survive. And we did. I survived Y2K. I'm still living off the food supplies, actually. Hello?
We got the Rodster.
Hi.
Hey there, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm doing okay, man.
Yeah, hanging in there. You know, hanging it.
I don't mean to be a pest, man, but we got to clarify something here. I mean, this whole blackface thing regarding Sarah. I mean, Sarah supports you, correct?
No, Sarah does not support the
Everything
blackface.
David does.
No, she's never supported that.
It's like a parent.
I would recommend Sarah should make a video saying that she's against blackface, you know, so she can protect her own career,
Yeah.
livelihood.
Absolutely. Well, I don't even think that's necessary. We're protected by free speech.
I do, dude. I definitely think it is, because I think you've definitely endangered everyone you're affiliated with this potentially racist video.
There's nothing racist about it. It's protected by free speech, Rodney.
Well, if you say so, Dave. Sarah, I'm just looking out for you, baby.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
love
Rodney.
that necklace. It's hit.
Isn't it hip? Yeah.
All right, you guys try to pull it together here in the next hour or so, and I'll call you back and close it down.
Okay, buddy. Later. Take it easy, man. Don't snort too many lines.
All right. So what he's saying is erroneous. Basically, Sarah's never acknowledged anything that I did or endorsed it. It's not essential that she says anything about it because, frankly, little said the better at this point. My point is I believe that the right of every American to parody or satire the president is protected by free speech. That is the truth. Unknown World sensed something strange about Rodney's voice, said that Rodney sounds like a fag. Exactly, 407. You know something? If people can't understand satire in this world, then they've got a problem and they're not true Americans. Ironically, anybody like a Democrat who thinks that I'm a racist is actually the same person who would take away your right to speak out openly against the government. They're the same person that would implement laws that would take away your privacy or suppress your freedom of speech or take away your rights to bear arms. These are the people that brought you Obama. These are the people that brought you the worst president in U.S. history. And you're listening to those people, Rodney? I feel sorry for you. You got to grow some balls, buddy. Seriously. Now, if anything happens where someone loses their livelihood because of this, hey, we take our lumps and move on. That's what strong people do. No one's going to rail me or tell me I don't have the right to speak out for myself, myself. I'm not making a statement for America's Third Party. I'm making a statement for David John Sponheim, and that video came out at my YouTube site, David John Sponheim. It never appeared at America's Third Party.
This is on the air, Bubble Blaster.
We're on the air right now. David Sponheim's going to get a little bit of the ban action here. So we're not here to talk about a racist accusation. We're talking about freedom of speech. That's really the conversation that I'm having. And I can tell you that in a country where we can't freely question Barack Obama's policies toward the Middle East, how his Arab Spring has come back to haunt this nation and cause us to be reeling with all kinds of potential flare-ups of international crises forming, then clearly these people don't even understand what freedom of speech is. And I'm talking about the free press. Even the free press doesn't understand what free speech is. No one knows how important it is to question authority like I do.
We do want to legalize marijuana at freeze time.
I agree, name your price. Rodney, you just had a timeout for at least six attempts to call in. Yeah, you're wasting our time not understanding the importance of what we're doing. We stand as true Americans behind what we say, and we don't stand back and deny the possibility that what I'm saying is the truth. We don't want to call people names like the Democrats do. We're not calling you guys truthers because you may think that the 9/11 was an inside job. We're not calling you birthers because you seriously doubt that Barack Obama's birth certificate is legitimate. We're not like the Democrats. We don't call people names unless they call us names. And I've been called a racist, so I have no problem calling them Obama-tards. Well, that's not a bad idea. I'll work on it right now. I'm going to work on that in art department while you guys work over there. Okay.
Okay.
No, Sarah doesn't endorse any of that. And you know something? I use that for me personally, and I'll defend that all the way to the ACLU. And you know something? If someone is stupid enough to make a move and try to in any way jeopardize anybody's livelihood here over something that had nothing to do with, they're facing an unbelievable lawsuit. It could cost upwards of $1 million. A lost career even. And that would be really sad. This is a beautiful picture of a cow producing flatulence. And we developed a plan at Cool Rock to deal with the animal waste and dairy byproducts. Methane obviously is the big thing. Most people don't realize that methane creates 5 times more greenhouse gas than automobiles. So I'm here to just talk about that mostly. The butt plug idea was originally designed to deal with the effluent. Harvest methane from livestock was dealing with the effluent coming out of the animal's butt. Okay. This concept was actually in an experimental stage when somebody said that PETA would come out against it, saying it would cause a lot of pain for the animal to have an insertable butt plug. And I said, no, not at all. Animals can resist that level of discomfort in order to save the planet. That's right, PETA. I said, no, animals don't have the same threshold of pain in that region that human beings have. I know, white liberal voted for Obongo, I know. They're all suffering from white guilt, so they're coming in the room calling me a racist. Most of those guys are Jewish anyway. It's kind of funny. Exactly. Well, name your price. I'm trying to help you get your mind off of the mindless accusations about blackface. So here we are talking about cow poop, and you don't want to talk about that either. We talked about blackface. We talked about cow poop. What do you want to talk about? Name your price. Exactly. Thank you, Colt. I figured you'd see the light about the future. At least you came into our room to give us your insight. Thank you. That's right. Dairy digesters are going on even up here at San Francisco Pegasus, up here in a small town outside of the border. We've got a big dairy digester that services 25,000 homes with electricity. We like that concept, so we want to work with that. No, I mean, we're not going to I don't believe cats have a lot of flatulence. I have not heard my cat ever have flatulence once. Have you? I've never heard cat flatulence once in my entire time. Cow poop. Do you really? Have you? Okay, I'm sure there's internet shows where people have cat flatulence. But I'm not here to discuss flatulence tonight, and I agree with the idea of the other person who came in here. Name your price. I don't want to talk about these mindless discussions of blackface and flatulence on a night when we're trying to stop war in Ukraine and Syria and Iraq. So why is it you guys always talk about funny stuff when we're trying to deal with tough issues like the war in Ukraine, Iraq, and Syria? Hawk, please. You're emblematic of a typical chatter. That's like saying I'm the poster child for the future of America. A blackface is not a tough one. No, I will go back to blackface anytime I want because it's called freedom of speech, my man. And you take blackface away from me, you might as well cut my entire psyche away from me. Because I have the right to impersonate, imitate, do voiceover, anything I want.
So you think these horses?
I'm a proud man, and I can do whatever I want. I'm getting ready for the Barack Obama's 2 video coming up. I will be performing, nothing to do with Sarah, October 31st, if you want to stay tuned. It is not racist to do an imitation of someone with an African-American dialect. That's like saying Barack Obama is a racist because he's impersonating a white man. Well, make no mistake about it. Let's be clear. Now, if he didn't talk like a white man, I would say you're right. But frankly, Barack Obama has every right to talk like a white man. Every right. And I protect Barack Obama's right to talk like a white man, so you better protect my right to talk like a black man. No, it is not. You guys are so off kilter, man. You think everything to do with blackface is racist. It is a great bit. I'm perfecting it. Sarah, why don't you take a break? These people want to talk about blackface all night. They don't want to talk about ending war. They're totally mindless. No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not an idiot. I have 185 IQ. Do you know what an idiot is? It's an IQ of 30 to 45. That's right. 45 to 60 is an imbecile, and 60 to 85 is a moron. Look it up. So I'm not an idiot. An idiot drools and is a waterhead baby. I don't care to talk about anyone of color in a negative way. I am not racist. I could do an imitation of Richard Pryor imitating white guys. Would you like to see me do that? With Parkinson's? I'll do it on our Barack Obama's night, okay? Thank you. Oh, yeah. We got a violent lady named Bish comes in the room. She says she's going to beat the bleep out of me. I mean, what kind of a get to know you statement is that? I mean, oh, yeah, Bish, we really want to get to know you. Give me a break. You don't want to be in here. I'll take over.
I mean, I don't want to be talking about
Let's change the subject.
that issue.
Well, let's be clear.
I'd
Okay.
even rather talk about the horses where their skin's falling off because of...
Let's take a look at this horses with the skins falling off. Folks.
I already have it down there. You can just enlarge that video, that screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at the horse
I
up
already
close.
have it up
Okay.
close. You can delete that.
Go ahead.
You just have it's right here.
This is the horse's skin falling off, everybody. These horses are from Southern California, and I did check out. This is the side of the horse whose skin is falling off. I did check out the radiation levels in our area for all of you who are listening in from Washington State, and I ran a check, and it's on our website. It's on our website, americasthirdparty.com. It's a few back, but you can check the levels over at Deception Pass if you are concerned. We are receiving about 1/10 the amount of radiation at the shoreline that California is. Now, when we see these types of abnormalities in beautiful creatures like horses, we know there's a problem. Yeah, it's definitely radiation, for sure. I'm not sure I know what you mean. I don't have any comment about Scientology. I'm going to plead the fifth on that. How do you feel about the fact that yeah, please don't post the same question over again, because I keep reading questions that's the same question, so no answers. Okay, it is, theoretically. You may be giving birth to little mutant children. Be prepared. Yeah. Well, there you go. Butt plug face is a good option. Why don't we use that? I'll use that as one of my skits. I'll have butt plug face embedded in the Barack Obama's video. Folks, there's a reason why I'm doing another impersonation video of Barack Obama, because number one, I can. I'm protected by free speech in our country. And number two, he's the worst president in the history of our nation. And a lot of you Democrats don't even realize it. So I'm giving you what is equivalent to electroshock therapy by telling you and showing you all the different ways you've been lied to by a corrupt snake oil salesman known as Barack Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. And we're going to go into detail, into every detail of his background, and we're going to be looking on October 31st at all the different lies that came up. Now, this will be coming from Barack Obama's.
Okay, on October 31st.
31st, coming up. No, you can call me names all you want, but I'm not a racist. I've never said a racist slur in my life, and I got to tell you, you guys are racists against white people at this point.
No.
It sure seems that way to me.
What do you think about
Thank
marijuana?
You. I support legalization. I think it's great. I think everybody who smokes pot actually usually enjoys it. I don't think there's anybody out there who really dislikes the thing. I very rarely heard of people allergic to marijuana.
Okay, what do you
No, I'm
think
not
about-
lying to you, and I'm not a politician. I'm an actual person, Quickscope.
What about
No,
the
that's not true, Sky. Go ahead.
What about the war between India and Pakistan that might cause a world, they might exchange nuclear weapons?
I do believe Obama is a Muslim. Pakistan and India have a very good treaty, and I believe that, if anything, America could trigger a problem by siding with either Pakistan or India. We like to keep the spread open. We should give both India and Pakistan our fullest attention to mitigate the possibility of war. Not really. Obama is not better than any of us. He's actually the person who just does the worst possible thing in life. Sells out for money. All right, I guess we had to ban Bish. Let's unban all and she can get back in here.
I think it takes 24 hours for them to get back in anyway.
All right.
But I'll unban all anyway.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen her video yet, Rodney. Well, I had to do that. Bish was spamming. Spamming is a bannable offense. You know that. Well, Obama's a Muslim because he was raised in Indonesia, in a madrasa, where at the impressionable age of 4 to 7 years old, he engaged in some very serious indoctrination into the Muslim and Islamic culture. That's why he's a Muslim. The ring he wears on his finger is indeed an Islamic expression that says that Allah is the one and only God. That's right. I will show you that ring because I have it in my ring library. 1 ringy dingy, 2 ringy dingies, 3 ringy dingies.
You're
I don't want to show anything that would in any way make Sarah upset about, talking about other things, so we're going to kind of keep that to a minimum. In the after show, we talk more about Obama, okay?
in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Strange that it didn't pop up here.
Yeah, I do think that the administration's usually just following a leader and is not the leader himself.
This is the leader that's running our world right now. His name is Henry Kissinger. And he's a pretty weird guy. Henry used to be our Secretary of State, everybody, under Richard Nixon. And Henry's got this attitude that he knows everything, and we're all a bunch of idiots. And I really believe that this type of mentality has created the problem in the world, and we need to get around it. So what we need to do, obviously, is keep him to a minimum. But what he's doing is calling the shots from behind the scene. He's actually he was the special assistant to the president under Barack Obama as well.
Henry Kissinger.
Yeah. So what kind of a guy would be special assistant to the president under Barack Obama, and also Secretary of State under Richard Nixon, a Republican versus a Democrat? It's kind of weird. That shows you right there how the two parties have fused. I mean, this is the same man. My fellow Americans, we must bomb Cambodia. Mr. President, I must tell you, we need to take out 100,000 Cambodians. Henry Kissinger. That's the guy behind the scenes. He's the guy proposing the New World Order. He proposed in the 1970s a plan called Low-Intensity Conflict, in which he routed through various organizations, the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission. And he's been using his power behind the scenes, along with others like George Soros and Zbigniew Brzezinski, to promote a plan to hijack our nation and turn it into the police force around the world. And this isn't some sort of a made-up conspiracy theory. This is actually happening, and we are part of it. That's right, don't forget Brzezinski. Zbigniew Brzezinski has 3 kids, all of which are embedded in the two-party system. He's working their channels now, and they got their own agendas. But the fact is, the American people, we don't really control our politics. We don't even know why our country's so close to war right now. And many of you are so concerned about it that you've come into this room cracking jokes, talking about this, that, and the other thing. But really, the sense that I'm getting from all of you is that you're really concerned about this world getting worse and worse. Well, I don't care if a Muslim is in our office.
I'll get it.
Thank you.
It's really that.
It said he lied. If he had said that he was a Muslim from the get-go, would he have become president? That's up to you, the voters. But he lied. He used deceptive to become president. Here comes the ring. Okay. I'll find it for you. Hang on. Drew in Malibu. What's going on, dude?
Hey, Dave, bro, what's up?
Brah. Here's the ring, everybody. It just eluded me for a second. This is the ring on his finger. You can see it's his ring. And I'm going to show a close-up look of it right now. Hang on.
People
Drew.
are required to have driver's licenses, though, Hammer. So he'll probably get around that by just hiring a driver, because Hammer says to renew your driver's license now you have to have a certified copy of your birth certificate from the state you were born in.
This has been translated, this insignia Obama has on his ring. It's an Islamic expression. It says that Allah is the one and only God. And this has been documented and verified by multiple third-party witnesses. What scene are we in?
7.
So, Drew, what's going on, dude?
Not much, bro. I mean, hey, I wanted to ask you something. I was reading the Drudge Report this morning, and there's an article about how you're going to, like, round up all the Muslims and put them into camps.
No, man, I would never do that. I totally support freedom of speech, dude. And it's like, you know, like Muslims have a right, dude. You know, I know there's this Rodney dude that comes in here and is like totally negative on how Muslims are bad and all this, dude. But like, dude, the thing is, these people have a right to their religion, dude.
Hey, Dave, did they put any cannabis in your local distributorship yet, brother?
Oh, no, I like called Rainbow on the phone, and she said that most of the weed that the government in Washington is releasing is just like, it's supposed to be free of mold, so they've only released like 30 pounds of it. And they've got like 500 pounds waiting to be distributed. But
show you're doing tonight, bro. Take care.
But the thing is, Drew, it's like molding as it waits to be checked for mold. You see, when you sit weed in one place like the government of Washington is doing right now, it gets moldy. So what are they doing? They're putting it in a dark, damp place to get moldy while they look for mold. My stance on the Second Amendment is I support the right to bear arms. I also maintain that we need some sort of a NICS checking system, possibly an instant check on the internet where people pay $10 and can just check to see if somebody has a violent record or a crime with a gun or a mental patient who has violent tendencies. That could be a fairly quick check. It wouldn't be a registration process, but it could be a check. Yeah, like, no, dude, like, there was like 500 pounds at the border smelly Band-Aid. And they couldn't even distribute it because all the retail dispensaries, and there were only like 25 of them, didn't even get any because of the mold issue, dude. All right. I do support. I didn't ban you for saying that, no. I ban you for spamming 2612. I support lesbian, gay, transgender, bi, everything. I'm avoiding any discrimination in this country. Bush and Obama are on the same level right now. I believe that the Bush-Obama administration has taken place over the past few years. That's exactly what we're dealing with. And we've also got a problem with a president who has lied about a lot of things, not just his Muslim ties, but his love for Jay Carney. I mean, we all remember this little moment, classic, where that little kiss, that's a lover's kiss. That's not some sort of a, thank you. That's a new one. I don't do shoes in my head. Why does Rick Perry sound like Bush? Because he's probably part of the same group of Illuminati people. The skull and bones. People die fighting for democracy. Laura and I never fought for anything. We had it all handed to us on a silver platter. That's why I do paint by numbers now, so people think I paint. I don't sound bitter. I sound better. Better than you, Rodney. You're just jealous. We don't have any problems with anybody who questions us. You have the right to call me names even. I protect your freedom of speech. What you don't understand is I have the right to parody the president. You Democrats, commie pinkos, need to realize you can't take our country away from us. You can't deny us the right to impersonate or parody the president. You're trying to do that. You're just showing your true colors every time you call me a racist. I'm not a politician. I'm a person, just like you and I. All of us are just average people here, trying to hash out a lot of solutions to our country in a very serious time. Many of you want to make think light of everything. You want to just blow things off. How can you say I never will be going to be president? How can you know the truth? The truth is, I will be president whether you like it or not. I don't believe the Democrats are barely center-left, LOL. They're a bunch of pinkos. No, they've denied our freedom of speech. Look at how they're trying to call me a racist. They don't even understand that I have the right to freely impersonate and parody the president. You're just showing your true colors tonight, you Democrats are. Bring it. I was a Democrat for 30 years before you started getting dumb. You're siding with a bunch of academic Marxists. You don't even know it. You're idiots. Oh, Diane. Hey, Diane. Are you transgender, Diane? Are you looking to avoid any kind of discrimination in the workplace? Are you transgender, Diane? Oh. Yes, are you Diane? You sound like a transgender.
I thought you mentioned her on the use of finger pack.
Oh, that's disgusting. Please, folks, if you heard that word, I want you to erase it from your memory. I apologize for that caller. But I will not apologize for doing what I need to do, is parody this idiot president you picked. You people who are calling me a racist are the Obama-tards, and I'm calling you people out. You're the one that stole my sign. People like you think you can cheat and steal, and all your corrupt cronies can use our tax dollars and waste them like you did in Washington. $90 billion in debt. You know, 6 years ago, Washington State was $16 billion in debt. And now they're $90 billion in debt. Thank you. This is the first time I've ever heard of you. You're an amazing man, and you definitely have my vote. Shout out to you. My name is Jackie Nelson of California. Thank you, Jackie. Awesome. We got a voter tonight from Jackie. Thank you, Jackie Nelson. Jackie, contact us someday, and we'll give you a job in my administration.
Maybe.
Maybe, if you
Maybe
qualify.
not.
Send us your resume at americasthirdparty@gmail.com. Put your name, and I'll definitely look at it. I need people to give me some support. I need a feel-good moment because I'm getting a lot of heat from these Democrats that are holding on to power like it was being torn from their fingers. Look what Obama has done over the past 6 years. Systematically dismantled our foreign policy with key nations like Egypt, Yemen, Tunisia, Libya. Now it's a potential civil war in Libya. I mean, look what he's been doing.
Thanks, DJ Stingy.
Casey. Go ahead. Hi, Casey. What's your topic? Okay, hang on.
You're just amazing.
You like the show. Great. We're interactive. We're in your face kind of stuff. We talk politics every night. And I'm not here to just sit back and let these Obama-tards walk all over me. As you can see, they met their match. And I'm not going to sit back and watch our country collapse because they are so mindless that they believe everything he says. So, yeah, thank you.
Hey, you have to fight back, you know.
We will fight back. Believe me, this is just getting going. Our nation needs a real political change, and I think a third party is exactly what this country needs. We've been dealing with the two-party corruption so long, it's ridiculous.
Yes, one party is stealing, the other party is stealing. We need a third party.
Exactly. And everybody knows it, and we just don't seem to have a gathering place right now, and hopefully we'll be able to get a gathering place for everybody to get behind us. We haven't done any gold shows.
Exactly.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, that's exactly. I'm agreeing with you because you are saying the exact same things that I've been thinking for forever.
Exactly. Now look at this. Insane Grandpa says, do you think Obama would have won if he did a whiteface video? Do you think anyone would have known who Obama was if he wasn't given a free ride through life? He was literally handed his legal degree. I doubt for real that he went to Harvard. I seriously think he was a handled CIA agent running right through the entire process to the top. Do you think Obama would have been Obama if he wasn't black? That was the question our former vice presidential candidate, Geraldine Ferraro, asked him. And Barack Obama was the first person to call her a racist. So the racist word's been coming out of the Democrats from the get-go, and anytime somebody questions Obama, they're a racist. So basically, Barack Obama and Eric Holder are living under the shield of blackness. No one can ask him any serious questions. I am serious, 526.
They hired white faces, so they didn't have to do no white face video.
Right, they had a free ride. And his blackness got him to the top of the pulpit. I know some interesting things about Barack Obama and how he got a speaking engagement in 2004 in the Democratic Convention. You know, in 1992, Jerry Brown didn't even get a speaking engagement, and he got 9% of the vote in the primary. But Barack Obama came from nowhere, and he got a speaking engagement. I got another caller I'm going to take. But thanks for calling. I appreciate you calling in. I need people to give us some positives. Thank you. Go ahead.
Call from
Jack Gates.
Okay, Jack.
add this caller to your current call. Press 5.
Okay. Okay, we're in a call now with, I guess, Casey and Jack. Jack, go ahead. What's your question?
Hey, this is John Sponheim.
This is David Sponheim, yes.
You mean the racist from the blackface video?
No, I'm not a racist.
Are you sure?
I've never been a racist. I've never said a racial slur in my life.
Better cut out the crap, Sponheim.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you think is racist about impersonating a president?
I think the blackface is incredibly racist.
What makes you think it's racist to do a blackface? Why do you think I should not have a right to speak out and impersonate a president? Are you saying I live in a Nazi regime or some? This is not England, dude. We left England. Why don't you go back to your home country? Where do you come from? What country did you immigrate from? All right, he doesn't have an answer. Are you still on, Casey? All right. All right, this is the deal. You people don't understand that our country is probably the last vestige of freedom in the world. In our country, we believe that all men are created equal. That's not true in all countries. We are now seeing what is apparently a Marxist move by Obama and his leftists to control the dialogue of speech. You're seeing people like Charles Schumer, the senator from New York, talk about defining what political speech should be. This is an outright attack on free speech and what this country was predicated on. And I take personally offense to it because my family were colonialists that landed here on the boat right after the Mayflower. Okay. Yeah, Casey, thanks for calling. Are you on?
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Hey, David.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah. I like your tone. It's good. What is your question about personal beliefs and values? I have total integrity and virtue, and I believe in all the things that you believe in. I'm an American. I've always been an American. I've seen my country fall apart around me, and I'm doing everything I can to raise the bar of awareness. I had to do whatever it took in 2008 to get notice in 2014.
Retype your question 735. I didn't
Hey,
see it.
I have a question real quick, David.
Go ahead.
I'll let you go.
Go ahead.
What time is the fucking show?
It's probably Rodney. Exchange problems cause delays in coverage, I know. We've had a lot of problems with Obamacare. In fact, most of the people that have signed up are just Medicaid recipients and old people on Medicare. It's really weird. Obamacare is not catching on like Obama planned it. People don't want to spend $15,000 per family per year for health insurance. Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid are dinosaurs. They didn't even dial in on a plan that would work for the American people. Folks, I wouldn't even have had to do blackface if somebody would listen to me in 2008. I wanted to save this nation in 2008 and in 2012. But I needed to do something for you to come into my room and listen to our great ideas.
Okay, tell me about your values relating to the amount of... What?
Don't even answer questions like that. It's ridiculous. So if you have no idea how to solve America's problems, you're lucky you've got me, because I've got about 6 major ideas that I'd like to roll out for you guys and get us back on the right track. Give me a moment to talk, even if you think I'm a racist, okay? Thank you. The goal is to get our housing under control and get affordable housing. And Sarah and I are very passionate about low-cost housing for people. I'm a liberal in many ways, but I'm also a fiscal conservative. So I looked at the problem and I realized that HUD has a huge amount of money every year. A lot of it's going to some of Obama's buddies that got him elected, who are slumlords. We could take that and convert it into fixing up houses. So we have a plan called the Homestead Renewal Plan.
Yes, I love the Homestead Renewal Plan, and I will have the Homestead Renewal Plan as the main thing that I work on.
Right. And the idea is
my main priority.
Yes. And I'll give you a little simple picture to look at here. But this is going to be Sarah's focus. I'll be helping her with it, and we're going to be dealing with supervisors that can operate. Basically, anybody can get a shovel-ready job for $10 fixing up houses in their area. No, I'm not going to discuss my RFID chip signs tonight. I didn't want to let it out that I chipped my signs, but thank you. All right, good. What I'm concerned about is getting jobs immediately out there, and the Homestead Renewal Plan is actually central to our goal to revive our economy. So fixing up houses, getting them out there, and getting the government to flip houses is really the central idea.
I guess that's exactly the beginning of the Homestead Renewal Plan.
Yep.
Is like what you said, take the homes that are sitting vacant, transition people into them. They would be responsible for maintaining them.
Mm-hmm.
There would be checks to make sure they're maintaining them.
Now, I'm bringing up the Ocean Pipeline Project because it's also one of my pathways to peace around the world, and being this is anti-war rally night, I wanted to mention that this concept could very well bring out the best possible solutions for America. We can offer desalination for people around the world with no fossil fuel involved at all. We can get water pumps running on solar and wind power to push water into these containers, and they are desalination chambers that can desalinate water basically up to probably 10 gallons a day. If we use the new graphene that's been developed, we could make 10 gallons using graphene, which is an amazing process.
Oh yeah, I love that graphene.
It's amazing. The possibility that we can develop these things and create fresh water rather quickly for countries that desperately need it would really be beneficial, especially when we're dealing with a tremendous amount of drought around the world right now. So these are a couple of really good ideas that if we roll out, even in California, you can imagine the benefits this would have, would really help our country. Thirdly, I have a plan to put out mobile medical units, very similar to this one from Minnesota, and integrate these mobile medical units into our VA renewal plan. We want to get the VA back on track and get the entire process rolling again. Now, the mobile medical VA plan is something I don't need Congress to agree on. I can simply execute it as Commander-in-Chief of the United States. I can make this happen. So we got 3 major ideas rolled out that will already generate buzz. That's just a small fraction of what we've got coming. We've got all kinds of alternative energy solutions that will create green jobs for Americans. I'm telling you folks, we have been listening and waiting for Barack Obama to come up with any ideas. He doesn't have any ideas. He's basically a person who hides behind a teleprompter. So we need to get new people, new voices out there that can articulate a better pathway. I'm not saying $100,000 a year jobs. I'm talking about jobs for $10 an hour on up to $25 an hour. No, my budget is going to be smaller, Insane Grandpa. All of these ideas that I've just mentioned are actually within budget. Bruce is using a voice translator. Okay, Bruce, go ahead. What's your question?
I was going to say I'm really enjoying the program. You're really going at these with your logic, you know, and
Good.
getting bad in the chat room. I can see that.
Awesome. Yeah, we're really going after and you know, I found out how much thievery is going on in the Democratic Party. These people are sucking money out of the tax dollars across the nation like crazy. California went from $26 billion in debt in 2008 to $542 billion in debt.
Thank you, Mel.
I mean, can you believe
That's
this?
correct.
This is the money they're sucking out of the tax roll. It's crazy.
You know what the thing is? The
people they don't want the facts. They just want to go with what they're going with. And another thing, David, I have to tell you, you did blackface. You're a racist.
All right, hang on just a second. Somebody said I was balding. No, sorry, dude. No balding here. Yeah.
Thank you, Bouncy. Yes. We've been doing it for quite some time, actually.
All right, thanks, Bouncy. Well, if you have no idea what my platform is, check it out. We have a very centrist platform, fiscally conservative and socially liberal ideas. It is possible for the federal government to compete in a free market. There's no law against it, and it's not socialism. I've been saying that the federal government can compete in the generic pharmaceutical industry, and we can also provide solutions for people that currently can't get
right now
valuable medication they need.
Yeah,
at a
right
lower
now
cost.
we're subsidizing the free market rather than competing in it. We're completely subsidizing the free market. The free market wouldn't be floating the way it is if the government weren't subsidizing it.
Hey, Bill. Hi, Bill. What's up? Can I
Well,
help you?
Dan, I hope it's
Yes,
frightening
how are you?
because I believe a lot of
Okay, hang on
a
just a
lot
second.
of the things about the
Go ahead, Bill.
homestead
What's your
renewal
question?
plan. I believe in the government competing in the free market. So maybe I scare
What's
you
your
too,
question,
and you
Bill?
should, you know.
Bill? Yeah, no, not yet. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, you're on the air now, Bill. Go ahead.
Right now, the government's role is very expansive, and especially when you have things like Section 8 housing. I'm not saying that we should expand government. I'm saying that we should change the way the organization of current existing systems so that the government can actually save money.
Yeah, I want the government to reduce restrictions on small business. I don't want the government meddling in small business. That's the very ground, the fertile ground for job growth in America.
Well, the free market doesn't work like laissez-faire currently. The
Yeah.
government is currently
Subsidized.
subsidizing the free market all over the place.
Yeah, we have
There
a
isn't an
subsidized
industry that exists that the government isn't subsidizing.
It's so true, Sarah. Well, we will stop sending money to a lot of countries. I anticipate cutting the federal foreign aid from $50 billion a year down to $25 billion a year for starters. Yeah, we've got a lot of cuts to make, folks. Hey, you know, I'm glad we've had a chance to talk in an informal and off-the-cuff manner, because in about a year, this whole chat room is going to change dimension in so many different ways. You guys won't be talking about me as a racist. You'll be asking me questions on how you're going to save this nation, David. And I'm going to be answering those questions precisely without a teleprompter. So get ready for a brand new approach to government where I will be transparent. I will go out in both the left and the right and discuss issues and get both of you to engage. We've had a president that's shut down communication. I will open up communication.
Yes, in the future, what I want to see is I want to see the government stop subsidizing
Right.
companies and rather create the products that they want created themselves. Hire someone to create it themselves instead of subsidizing a contracted worker to create it. That's what I believe in.
We have done over 1,700 three-hour shows consecutively.
Yep.
We have shown the American people that we are not fooling around. I misspelled consecutively, but you get the point.
The thing is, Clown Dude, I'm not talking about the ownership of housing and the way that they've done it in the past. I don't believe in
Thank
the
you,
way that
Rodney.
they've done it in the past, which is through subsidizing the marketplace.
Yeah, exactly. America. America is what it really matters. You know, I can understand your concern, many of you, about the African plight in Darfur and Sudan. I understand that we want to get supplies to those people, but seriously, do we want to just waste our money putting them on rail cars and sending them to the same old people that are getting literally kidnapped? We have a plan to get food aid to other countries, and even America can get this food aid. Imagine how the people during Katrina could have responded at the Superdome if we had dropped this type of food aid to them immediately. 5 days without food and water, that's ridiculous. So this kind of process will revamp FEMA and create a solution that will be long-standing and provide immediate necessary help without putting our troops at risk. All right. coming up with new ideas, out-of-the-box solutions to America's problems is perhaps the best solution we can do. Now, one of the problems with our country right now in Iraq is Obama's not leading. He's letting the CIA run field ops, and he's obviously just sitting back receiving orders from his handlers, Obama is. The CIA has essentially destabilized the problems and created problems in Iraq. When Prime Minister Maliki, who is now going to be stepping down very shortly, basically sided with Iran for the past 2 to 2.5 years, and President Barack Obama has refused to send any troops in to support Maliki, we created a vacuum. And that vacuum was filled by insurgent forces sponsored by Sunnis that had ISIS connections. ISIS basically was trained in Jordanian training camps backed by the CIA. And that's been the problem ever since. We can resolve the problem in Iraq rather quickly once we get the CIA and the presidency on the same board. Right now, we're basically a snake eating its own tail. But once we get a clear vision and a strategy for containment in that region, we'll be able to get everything normalized. My biggest concern is actually focused more on America. I want to deal with the border crisis, which is clearly a problem for states like Texas, New Mexico, Nevada, California. And now other states are affected deeply by influx of people that are apparently other than Mexicans. Somalians. Obama has authorized 1 million green cards a year since he's been president, and now we have about 4 to 5 million Somalians, Nigerians, and countless other countries. Even Iraqis are in here now, 15,000 to 20,000 per year. It's been getting ridiculous. We've got to deal with this. Obama put that contingency out there for Maliki. That was Obama's doing. That was not Maliki's. Maliki would have accepted our support, and we would have maintained our presence there past 2011. Absolutely. And my plan is still on the website, and it specifically says that we should have kept a contingency of about 5,000 people there. We would never have had this problem in Iraq had I been president in 2012. I am understanding everything. That contingency, no, Maliki did not isolate himself. He had to answer to his own people, and he was losing face among his Shiite majority had he accepted Barack Obama's terms. You know what Barack Obama's terms were? To completely disallow any prosecution of U.S. personnel of human rights abuses. Meaning it would be okay for Blackwater or XE to go in and kill 17 Iraqis and get away with it. And Maliki had to answer to that among his own people. Regardless, we're going to deal with whoever's in charge in Iraq in the coming years. Maliki did what he had to do, and Obama abandoned him, just as he abandoned Hosni Mubarak, the former president of Egypt. When he reached out to ask for some more time and some more support from America, Obama didn't even answer the phone, leaving Egypt in a situation where 800 people died. You Obama-tards can blame yourself for everything that happened in Egypt. You can blame yourself for the death of 800 innocent people under Masri, the people that were rebelling, the Muslims that were rebelling in that region. That never would have happened had they had proper support from Barack Obama in the beginning. And he destabilized countries like Yemen. President Saleh actually fled to Saudi Arabia and asked for asylum, and Obama intercepted and said, no, you are going to step down from power. And that's exactly what Saleh had to do, and it totally fragmented the country of Yemen. Is this for real? You're going to ban people like this? Don't even allow them in. We'll get whatever we can get when we get it. Thank you. Katrina was an inside job. Interesting, Bish. See, Bish wasn't banned. We had a 24. It doesn't take a 24-hour ban in our show. Yeah, Bish, we'll try to be more attentive to your needs in a show. If you just, basically LOL at Katrina, got it.
I believe the real issue, I personally believe, Dan, is that we need to rethink our entire society. Because I think that in the future we're going to have the less need. There's going to be a lot less people working due to automation.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a natural process through the free market. And so how do we actually, what do we do with the people that don't have jobs?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Do we just let them, oh, you should go get a job that doesn't exist?
It's incumbent upon us to create ideas like the Homestead Renewal Plan. We need to get jobs out there for Americans, and that's why we came up with this concept, okay?
I'm actually against giving people free money. I'm in favor of giving them housing. I'm in favor of giving them food.
We would like things that are more forward-thinking that will lead to jobs, like a maglev railway, as long as it's sustainable and we can pay for it. Now, we want a maglev railway that will be funded from the electricity it earns, simply from the solar panels and wind power generation. We need infrastructure work. We need $24 billion worth of infrastructure work on our roadways and our bridges. Obama just authorized about, I believe, $8 billion. It's not enough. But we need other solutions that will build jobs in America. You know, it's interesting. When Obama was asked to help fix bridges in America, he gave $9 billion, awarded $9 billion to the Chinese nationals to come into our country. And we've got welders right now that could easily work on bridges. We've got men who worked on bridges back in the 30s that are still alive that could mentor those young men and teach people how to fix these bridges. But we're not seeing any of that. We're not seeing any of the American job growth that Obama promised. And I can tell you that since Obama is no longer going to be part of the picture very soon, we have to start thinking as individuals, as honest Americans trying to solve this problem from the ground up. No, I don't prefer to give anybody money as opposed to housing. Housing is the solution. Money is arbitrary. The vouchers that we currently give slumlords could go back to the government, and the government could have government housing. It's a looped capital system that will save a tremendous amount to the taxpayer. Whatever, Robert. I'm not really scheduling anybody for halftime entertainment, but thanks. I do a continuous show. But no, the jobs will be created with new ideas. The problem you guys are facing is you don't have a president with new ideas. We're not going to be making any cocaine for you. We're not going to give food stamps to illegal aliens. Unban all again. Sorry. Good night. Take care, Bish. I didn't mean to ban 420, Wagon Burner. It was a mistaken ban. Sorry, Wagon Burner, if you got taken out, you'll be coming back in shortly. No. No one's going to show anything here other than you a reality check. We're offering all kinds of opportunities. I mean, I'm just going to put these things out there so you can look at them because it's easy to look at things when they're... We're offering a plan to create a U.S. auto corporation as well that'll produce one particular type of hybrid electric vehicle that'll get 100 miles per gallon and cost around $15,000. Hang on. We support a thing quite different than what Obama and the Republicans support. We support a thing called regionalization, not globalization. We want our nation to have a better, stronger service economy and produce more products that we, our Americans, can rely on. I mean, come on, guys. How long have we been outsourcing, and where is this going? The car idea is good, thank you, Insane Grandpa, good. How long are we going to sit there and listen to these people who support globalization, take over our country, and then give us nothing in return? Floyd, we are going to get the oil companies to sit down and talk to me on C-SPAN, and I'm not making this up like Obama did about the health care plan on C-SPAN. We want the government to actually engage with the oil companies openly, and we know that if they're open about everything, including the oil futures market, we're going to all see a reduction in the price of gas by about $1 to $2 a gallon. Not really, no. The illegal immunity of U.S. troops was our pretense that Obama put on the record. That's fact. Don't even contest that, Mountain. Obama put the contingency in Maliki's plate. We never even needed to do that. This is on Obama now. His mistake was a disaster for our country and for Iraq. Plus, allowing the VWs, allowing the CIA to virtually dominate the Sunni ISIS forces is a big mistake. I heard that the Passat gets 80 miles per gallon, but it won't be allowed into the country because of California emission control standards. No, I'm not in any way a racist, Wagon Burner, and I'm going to ban you because obviously you think I am. Yeah, I don't need people coming in my room thinking I'm a racist. I've never said a racial slur in my life. And you folks that don't understand freedom of speech really have a lot to learn about America. Apparently, I'm going to be the one to teach you a lesson on what freedom of speech is. I'm not banning anybody based on color. Only people that are racist. Racist against white people. Who was racist towards Mexicans? Barack Obama? Really? I didn't know that. Well, it doesn't surprise me. Hi there, Rock Out Like Crazy. You can record anything you want. Absolutely. Everything we do on our show is recorded. Missouri is a classic case of police brutality. As president, I would have taken immediate action right now, saying openly that we are not going to give any money to municipalities that have brutality charges on their records. Anybody who's facing brutality charges need to be completely suspended and dropped off the payroll, or we won't give them federal funds.
Is that a correct statement?
Yes, absolutely. I believe the military should be held accountable for their actions.
Just
absolutely.
like this police officer.
Just like the police officer,
and,
yeah.
of course, Michael Brown. I mean, he's passed away now, but...
Everyone needs to address this brutality issue in Ferguson, and it's just like many others in the country. I can show you the problem in Brooklyn 2 years ago. 2 young black men, were killed. Yeah, there's a lot of problems that are in need of being addressed. Unfortunately, it's all going to rest on my shoulders as president in 2016, 2017. I'm going to address as many as I can, and we're going to bring more dialogue into the White House than you'll ever imagine. I don't know. Sharpton, I thought, was at the event. Really? Right now, we're pulling. I want everyone pulled off the force who has any charges at all of brutality against them. We'll wait till the suspension and the hearing and their trial, internal trial. But Internal Affairs can handle all that. I just don't want to get any money to any force that has a guy with charges of brutality on the force still working. That's the criteria for federal dollars under my plan. It's smart. I know they're getting paid vacations when they kill someone, Rock Out Like Crazy. Good point. Topper Dana, as president, I can dictate where federal dollars go in an emergency situation. If we're facing violence in the streets and civil disobedience because blacks are concerned about their rights, I want to address those problems, and I need to show as president that I will address those problems. Look, I'm the least person you'd ever want to call racist, so for you to be calling me racist is really ironic. I'm the guy who's been fighting for integration for years. I'm the guy who's been open and shared my views with people in my classroom who were African American. I've done everything I could to bridge the gap between blacks, whites, Hispanics, and Asians. So for anybody to call me racist is really ironic. I've never said a racial slur in my life, and I can tell you this is one of our better shows. Thank you. There's nothing offensive about doing an impersonation video of a president. No. And I'm only censoring people who think I'm a racist, because it's apparent that you think I'm a racist. You obviously are a racist. We can ban people who we want. If you're disturbing our show by degrading us or demoralizing us, we don't need you in our show. I never said I wouldn't apologize for the deaths of innocents resulting from surgical airstrikes. Never said that at all. That's a mischaracterization. I refuse to allow that in the chat room. You've been purged. And you're on warning now. I will ban you next. Stop mischaracterizing my statements. Wagon burner, you don't even know what free speech is. I'm going to leave your statement simply because it's a banner of your own ignorance. Our country was predicated on free speech, and you Democrats are trying to take it away from the American people. I won't stand for it. You'll have to take me out with a bullet to my head before you get me to say I'm sorry for being an American. Yeah. I'm all about free speech, and you don't understand it. I did say Obama was wrong for using executive order too much. Absolutely. He's been hiding behind an unbelievable misuse of executive privilege. And I believe that the lawsuit that Boehner is filing will have some teeth to it. Albeit, we're banning to maintain control of the room over people who are obviously haters who don't understand what we're doing. Thank you, Hawk. Are you Native American? I have a little Native American in me. I'm not sure how much. No, I actually am part Algonquin. I could have actually, according to Elizabeth Warren and her use of fraud and lies about her Cherokee heritage, I could have gotten a free ride at Harvard. All I had to do was write down Algonquin Indian, and I would have gotten a free ride at Harvard. aside from the fact that my family built that school. They used affirmative action against me. You're looking at a true victim of affirmative action. Yes, I'm part Algonquin. Thank you. I would have gone to Harvard. I was the #1 student in my classroom. Excuse me, my entire class, 770 students. My grades were impeccable. I had like 98 percentiles on all my tests in high school. I skipped 7th grade. I finished college calculus and college physics at the age of 16. Second year college calculus. I mean, I'm brilliant. If you don't want a brilliant person to run this country, then go ahead. Hire some idiot, moron from the Republican Party. Or worse than that, some mindless New World Order suck-up like Hillary Clinton. I don't lie at all. Everything's in the record. Everything I've said in my show, including my IQ, is in the record. I'm not going to be able to expose the record until I'm president and I can get my Cume folder revealed. But it's incumbent upon you to start thinking clearly as a voter. And if you don't realize that I've got great ideas, then you obviously don't even know what you want. I'm not a Freemason. I'm not a member of any, no, Rodney, shut up. I'm not a member of any secret society. Evil Too Good says Freemasons will never let you run them. Well, I'm not going to run them. I'm going to run the country, and Freemasons can kind of step aside because they screwed up, okay? I was never in Skull and Bones, Brent. That's a lie. You're looking at a guy who's been a victim of affirmative action, who couldn't go to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and I applied to those schools. As a top student in my school with top SAT scores, I should have had a chance to at least get my first year under my belt at one of those Ivy League schools, but they didn't give me a chance to do that. I'm not playing with any fire here, Rodney. I'm talking about how I've been victimized as affirmative action. I'm not shouting them at the computer screen mountain. Turn your volume down if you've got too much modulation on the microphone. We have a very hot mic here. I'm not like Hitler. No. Sarah's not like Eva Braun either. We're different. I don't have a mustache here, and I don't have black hair, and it's not combed to the side, and Sarah doesn't have blondish hair, and she's not Aryan. We're clearly different than Hitler. I know. I purge anybody who comes in here and attacks us personally, Mountain. I've explained that to people. No, Topper Dan, you're the only guy with your head up your ass. Yeah, you're the one who comes in here and contests everything that we show you proof of. We've even shown you proof of how chemtrails are literally being dropped on the population, causing a drought, and you continue to ignore it. No, I just told him he had his head up his ass. That wasn't an attack. It's a pejorative comment about where his head is. It's located up his ass. Thank you. Let's go, Rodney. We're waiting for your phone call. You got 45 minutes to call in and pretend like you have something to say. Bring it. All right, good. Well, I'm glad we all are on the same page. We don't want war, but you do support high-tech weaponry, right? Everybody supports robots. He has obvious intelligence. Thanks, Luca, for giving me that. Does anybody support robots here in defense? Because I do. I support the ability of our nation to defend ourselves. I'm a little concerned about them using it against us domestically. Like this.
Micro air vehicles, or MAVs, will play an important role in future warfare. The urban battlefield calls for tools to increase the warfighters' situational awareness and capacity to engage rapidly, precisely, and with minimal collateral damage.
Emphasis on minimal collateral damage. Yeah. Well, you're going to have to embrace that, Alpha Dog. Robotic technology is the future. I want some level of democratization to our nation so that we don't allow corporations to rule our military-industrial complex. I support a strong defense as opposed to an overtly offensive offense. I want to just maintain a strong parallel defense with all our allies, maintaining parity around the world so that countries like Russia won't initiate a global nuclear strike, or China. But I don't want to beef us up to the point where it makes Russia paranoid that we're going to attack them, or any other country for that matter. My policy has a clear vision in mind, and that is parity. And much like Ronald Reagan of the past, when he supported a strategic defense initiative, I will put that on the table. Now that concept is something that would very well be very welcome among other countries, looking for defensive techniques to prevent an attack from any country. Thank you, Mad Dog. My Algonquin roots are noted. My mother didn't have any hair on her legs or under her arms, which is a noted trait among Native American women. And she had that dominant gene. So if I had a child, it's possible I might have a daughter that may not have hair on her arms, under her arms, or on her legs. Seriously. So I'm thinking my Algonquin roots are probably 8 generations back. I am not in Florida. I am in Washington State. Well, bouncy balls, you got to understand, China, Japan, other countries are not going to stop their robotic program. I embrace robotics. I want it taught in education in local areas. We were looking at a robotic club here in Oak Harbor that's really doing well recently.
Yeah,
we talked to this.
FIRS.
Yeah, I talked to Randy, the guy in charge over there, Randy Hunt. And it was kind of cool finding out about how robotics are integrating well with a lot of young people, but there's only 22 young people at our local high school involved in robotics. I am embracing robotics, yes. I don't mean in a sexual way, like hiring a blow-up doll that can touch me with a sensor pad, but I'm sure that's coming. And you might be coming too. All right, so we've got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We've got about 40 minutes to talk about it. Fun stuff to discuss. He got jokes, I know, he's funny. The bottom line, guys, is we've got a lot of work to catch up on because we've had 8 years of Bush, failed administration, and another 8 years of Barack Obama coming up, failed administration. We've never had any success coming out of the 2 parties, and now with this recent election where I ran a local campaign, and let me get my signs. I want to get one of my signs. I'll tell you what I'm doing right now. Hang on.
I am listening to the chat. I read it. And sometimes I don't agree with it all, but I do try to listen. Reading, I guess, really, Mountain, instead of listening. David ran as a write-in candidate in 2008, 2012, and now in 2016.
Okay, we also ran as a legitimate candidate in local elections. Somebody said, hey, David, you got to try local election. And I even ran as a preferred Democrat because I was a Democrat for 30 years. And I wanted to show you guys briefly, let me get rid of these signs here. I've got some signs that we've made up in the previous election, and I doctored them. Okay, I kind of like that. Okay, I doctored them so that they would actually be used in the upcoming election. But in the primary, what happened was I had over 50% of my signs were taken down by my competitors, and our large signs that were really critical to getting to top 2 position were taken down by our competitors right away. They barely had a day up. So what I'm doing is I'm redeveloping my older signs, I'm putting these out, and I'm going as a write-in candidate. And I'm going to be running for U.S. Congress. Yeah, that's the new and improved sign I just doctored up of the old sign. We're going to be putting these all over the place for the next this general election here in 2014. I'm running as a write-in candidate because I'm not going to let the Democrats or the Republicans get away with sabotaging my campaign. And these people are corrupt, folks. And I'm telling you, we proved it in the previous election, in the primary. So what I'm going to do, I've got other signs that are going up, and I'm going directly after Rick Larson. Now, Rick Larson is a guy who has been supporting the military-industrial complex. He ratified the war in Iraq. He basically is giving a green light to greater weapons of mass destruction. And now he's coming out pretending like he's kissing everybody's butt to get votes and pretends like he cares, and he's never, ever, ever filed a complaint with the environmental impact statement. I did. We did. We complained about the 24 million marine mammals that are going to die as a result of the Navy testing along the coastline in our area. So this campaign is going to run big, hard, and fast coming up in about a month. I'm also going to do TV commercials, and if you'd like to get behind those, that's certainly make a donation. If you want to get behind the funding of those, they're really, really affordable. We're going to be rolling out commercials talking about how I was cheated. Okay, and I'm also running on a plan to write in my name. If you want to download a poster, you can actually print it out in black and white right now. If you go to
color.
or color, if you go to davidsponheim.com, and we have a clickable button, print poster. All right, just so you know, this is a local campaign coming up in 2016 or 2015, and after this general, we're going to have printable posters like this for the presidency. All of you can print them. They can print out at Office Max for 33 cents on cardstock, or $1.33 if you want color. All right, that's my campaign, and I'm gonna just step out, feed the fish. You can talk to Sarah, and I thank you. I'm just trying to change the vote because I think the Democrats think they have a free ride here, and it's pissing me off. They think they can sabotage my campaign and run a corrupt nation, and it's really upsetting me. I'm going to do everything I can to prevent these people from gaining a foothold in the upcoming election.
Well, there is a link to our show on our websites, Teacup. People can't click on a sign, so, and it's, you know, they can always Google Sponheim and then find the video and find our actual, find our links. So that's very good. Yeah, and David will be back here Monday night. He does a show 6 days a week, and that's it. Can we even vote? Can we choose our next president? You think not? Well, then if you don't think so, just go ahead and register anyway and put David in for ha-has since you don't think your vote counts, so why not vote for David? If you're 8, you really should not be in this chat room. It's supposed to be for people that are 18 and over. But I was talking earlier about the Homestead Renewal Plan. I really do believe in the Homestead Renewal Plan, which is the idea of getting people to build houses that they can live in, or at least take existing houses and give them the opportunity to build them up. So, yes, I understand that you think that, but John, but I'm still going to go and continue. David's going to continue to campaign, whether you think it's in vain or not. Maybe you're right, Hammer. I don't know. Oh, he's talking to me? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's, no, Dan, I don't think you've ever had a situation where people are working low-income jobs for their entire life and cannot afford to actually save up the down payment on a home that they can live in. I mean, and then they have all these huge rent payments. I really don't think that you understand the plight of low-income people. You think you started working when you were 12? Doing what? Wagon burner, I do purge for that word. You were commercial fishing at 12 years old? I didn't realize they had that. That is hard back-breaking work. You're right. It is. Yeah. So, but Bouncy, are you from another country? You were talking about how in some Scandinavian countries they build up places that are close to each other and they make them green communities. People choose to do as they wish, Wagon burner. I purged you several times. Maybe David did ban you. And you're right, commercial fishing is not a low-income operation. It's a high-risk operation and a very hard, difficult operation. It's not that I make enough cash to run an actual presidency campaign that's in any way related to any way in the same realm of the Democrats or Republicans. It's more that, you know, we run on a shoestring budget, I would say. Well, Luca, we've been doing it for quite some time, so it's been pretty interesting.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luca. Appreciate it. Well, we are dedicated to peace, but we have to be strong if we want to be a peaceful nation. We need to walk tall and lead by example. Instead of being a bad nation, starting wars, we need to be a positive nation working toward peace and détente and orchestrating a plan as opposed to just mindlessly saying, well, I'll make no mistake about it, I support peace. That's not enough. You need to actually tell them ways in which we can do that. Now in Gaza, we could actually discuss possibilities of providing fresh water to the people of Gaza, helping them create food and ultimately become more prosperous and give jobs to their people, because obviously the young people in Gaza Strip do not have jobs. So we've got a lot of solutions to the problem there, as well as a possible port overseen by the UN that we could possibly discuss with Benjamin Netanyahu. I know, more than a cheeseburger. I am addressing real-world issues.
I think that...
I've never said that. That's a lie, and that's your last warning. You're mischaracterizing what I'm saying. I've never said what that mountain person said. You know, frankly, they won the Yom Kippur War, and they've been very generous, offering land back to the Palestinians. Even during Yasser Arafat's time, he was given a chance to have a homeland, but he refused to take it because it did not include Jerusalem. I will not make Puerto Rico a state unless we see a problem with one of our states seceding. If we lose a state for some reason, Puerto Rico could add to the map and we'll keep the 50 states. I don't want to change the maps. I like 50 states. I don't want to hire China to put another state on there. That would be an expense that we don't need to incur. Yeah, there you go. Texas may want to secede if Rick Perry gets his way. You know, I personally think we can address the problems of the border. Whereas Obama hasn't done anything, we can do a lot. We can build a 1,000-mile fence along the border using prison labor that is currently illegal alien labor, lowering the cost of the labor to construct the fence. We've got fencing all around the country. The silly topic tonight is anti-war rally.
The thing that really irks me, John, is not necessarily the Electoral College, but the ballot access laws.
Yeah, ballot access. And I like to see term limits, too. So our party supports term limits and revised ballot access laws so that we can get more opportunity for more people. And we need more parties. We need more people talking. The problem is the two-party system has dominated the political landscape of America for so long that it is no longer relevant to what we need. We need a party or many parties that are more nimble and can address the issues the country's facing. The issues that are going on right now in Congress are being ignored. We've had the worst, most lame duck Congress in history recently. We've seen these people produce the least amount of legislation of any group in our history. This is unprecedented.
All our shows, at least for the past week or so, are on youtube.com/America's Third Party. But it's a different background than our show that you're seeing now because it's a different computer that they're recorded on.
Folks, we've got situations where the TSA is violating our personal rights and freedoms at the border. This is a classic example of the government's doing too much invading of our privacy, I will gradually phase out the TSA. And we want to have plainclothes military officials working in those posts. The TSA currently costs our country $7 billion a year. We're already paying for the same number of people in the TSA as we are. We're paying for National Guardsmen right now and Coast Guards men and women that could be in plain clothes doing their job. I would not want to fly. I haven't flown since 9/11. Since prior to 9/11, I have not flown because I don't want them touching me. That's right. I don't feel comfortable going to an airport and having my body molested. I don't. I'm glad you agree, Topper. That's a good start. We got one agreement.
And I don't believe in just handing people a house.
Right. We're not going to give anybody anything for free. They have to work for it. And we have a baseline plus plan where people get a baseline, and beyond that, they have to work for the plus part. Oh, here's the guy I was telling you would have been a great president. Cliff Robertson. I met Cliff Robertson in the 1980s, right around when this picture was taken. And I said to him, you've got a lot of believability factor going for you. He had done about 53 movies at the time. And then I don't know if he's still alive, but I mean, then he later got old and had a little plastic surgery. It's amazing how people change with plastic surgery, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Bouncy.
His face almost shrunk. I'm not sure how that works. I'm just kidding. Okay, but let's get on topic. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. The government can produce housing cheaper, yes. The problem is, Topper Dan, the government hasn't produced much of anything in many years. They just job things out to greedy contractors. You know, our area has a bridge, the Deception Pass Bridge, and that same bridge that was in my poster. The railing on that bridge costs $1,000 a linear foot. That's called ripoff. I could have built that bridge for about $13 a linear foot, but somehow some contractor convinced the government to charge $1,000 a linear foot. Well, the government doesn't want to produce anything. That's the problem. We need a government that does. These losers that are sitting there in government right now pushing pencils, these 5-day graduates out of college who think they can plan and spend money through you wouldn't believe the amount of money these people want to do. These are the problem people. I know I called the Director of Transportation, WisDOT, and he's the Washington State Director of Transportation, and talked to him about the cost of a new roundabout they want to put in at Sharp's Corner. And he said he has a proposal for about $30 million. And I did some research, and I found out that roundabouts in Europe cost roughly $275,000 up to $500,000. So he wants to charge at least 50 times more than what they charge. It's strange. So all these people in government have no idea of the real cost. They just call up a contractor and say, so how much is this going to cost? And the contractor gets greedy and, oh, government contract, $30 million. Oh, yeah, $30 million. That's what it's going to cost, $30 million. That's the problem. These people are out of their minds. They don't even know what they're doing, Luca. And they're spending our tax dollars like it's going out of style. Markets don't really exist in every way. The laissez-faire system has been long gone. If you think Adam Smith and his silent hand is working in America, you might want to cut off the finger and maybe the thumb and get the pinky finger to roll around, because it's really not functioning. Most of the businesses in America are subsidized. The too-big-to-fail companies are subsidized. Our nation right now is subsidizing Walmart. 38% of all retail food is sold at Walmart. That means that most of the people who are buying things in America are spending money at Walmart and with food stamps. Actually, 1/3 of everybody in America has food stamps. So the number of dollars of food stamp money going into Walmart's hands is unbelievable, unparalleled. I wouldn't doubt that $2 to $3 billion of Walmart sales are coming from the government, if not more. The number's all accurate. All my numbers I have available immediately. If you need references, Google it. They make $10 per hour at Walmart, and it's barely enough to get by. Why is there no private union at Walmart? I'm not saying it's bad to have food stamps. I'm just saying food stamps are subsidizing Walmart. We have a plan to create the Essential Food Program where we take food that is currently not being grown. Farmers are getting farm subsidies to not grow food, and we ask them to grow food. They still get their farm subsidies. Everybody's happy. They grow the food. They give it to the government processes it at a generic food manufacturer. We produce nice entrees for people that are affordable, that they can pay $2 to feed 2 people and pop it in the microwave. That's the kind of food we're going to give a lot of people on food stamps. This will loop the capital so the food stamp money won't go directly into Walmart's hands. It'll be going back into the government's hands. It's called looping capital. I know we need TSA agents to lose their jobs and go home and stop being rent-a-cops. Maybe they could play with their magnetic wand or something. Well, demilitarizing the police, the first step, Vane Cam, is to tell all municipal police departments that we will not allow funding to their department at all if they have people working on their force with any charges of brutality. Until those charges are settled, those people can't work on the force. It matters to me, Mentor Mozumba, because we're subsidizing a private corporation. I led into this conversation talking about how big companies are being subsidized. Walmart's an example of that. Somebody said this was a laissez-faire system. It's not. It's not a free market. Never was. We're socialized. We're already socialized, but we're being socialized by what is called a national socialist plan as opposed to a democratic socialist plan where people can actually start seeing some of the wealth spread around. Google and Facebook got most of their money from the government, as did Microsoft. Now, I'm in the process of developing a case against Google to break them down and charge them with a monopoly. I will be doing that as president and using the Justice Department to take Google down a peg or two. I want Google to be what they originally set out to be, an open source file sharing opportunity, not some place where people can make $300,000 sitting in their chair doing, oh, I don't know if I like Perrier as much as possibly maybe Evian. What do you want for like your drink? You know, I really don't need that kind of stuff. I need people like you working at home, telecommunicating, getting $35,000 a year, not some idiot who somehow landed a great job because he graduated with an Ivy League education with C averages, working at Google, pretending to be creative. We need people like you working from your home, doing fun stuff that you like to do, but contributing to the Google model. But hey, if the government already owns Google, it should be a no-brainer that we're just going to socialize the company, okay? Larry Page can take his $14 billion and go home to his palatial retreat and forget about it. We can't constantly fund corporations that produce 2 pages of code or 12 pages of code and expect a profit for an eternity on that code. It just can't work. Tech support. That's good, Vane Cam. Thank you. So we will get things going, folks. Thanks so much for your support. Our show is an everyday experience except for Sunday. I had a great dinner. I had Atlantic cod and Pacific salmon again this week, and a little bit of chicken. It's really good. A little bit of both sides of the nation. I'm still okay eating Pacific salmon, but I'm a little bit weary of it. I'm thinking the radiation. I know. Well, I would like your food stamps to buy good quality stuff that's low calorie, low fat, low salt, not a lot of heavy sugars, but tasty, really good. Yeah, I've got a great meatloaf recipe, and I know Pacific salmon is irradiated, yeah. I've got a fantastic salmon loaf recipe I could make in a microwave bag for all of you to throw in the micro. It'd be incredible. Google is messing up a lot of companies. And you know, when Mark Zuckerberg recently spent $19 billion on what app? $19 billion, okay, folks? That's $1,900 million. Excuse me, $19,000 million. This is crazy. $19,000 million. I mean, I can't even imagine that kind of money. And the WhatsApp application had like 2 pages of code, had 4 competitors. Mark Zuckerberg didn't get a patent in this deal. He didn't control the market. He's so out of it, he just threw $19 billion at a company he didn't even need. $19,000 million, yeah. Thank you. I know, it's not a real number, but we call it 19 billion. It's crazy. So Mark Zuckerberg's getting a free ride from companies like Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, and our country is basically footing the bill with printed money. And if you guys are wondering why your dollars buy less and less at the market every day, it's because this has been going on for a long, long time. Now Ed is getting $88 a month for food stamps. That's barely enough for a man like him to survive. And yes, the poor class is expanding, exactly. So the idea of looping capital is based in our book, Hybrid Capitalism, and I've got a copy of it right here. We sell it online for $14.99. You can get a copy like this. And you can't really see the cover because it's green and it's kind of, you see a little bit of it there. But anyway, it's got a big dollar sign in it. And hybrid capitalism is a concept that Sarah and I created in 2012, which is pretty much the answer to our country running efficiently. Now, unlike libertarians who want to downsize the nation's government completely, we actually have a way in which the government can make money back. And we too want to downsize the government in terms of the expense to the taxpayer. So in a way, we're like libertarians, but we also think the government could run efficiently. Looping capital. No, this is not a communist plan at all, and it's not socialism either. This is a simple plan to get the government to compete in the free market without any unfair advantage. And we have not tried that, Mentor Mozumba. It's never been done in this country. And Washington State and Washington, D.C. both can't balance their damn budget. I agree we should bring our troops home and help guard the border. I agree with that, Lokumi. I like that. Remove the Cuban blockade. I'm with you there. We'll trim the amount of money to Israel. I don't know about zero, but we'll definitely cut back. We'll try to increase minimum wages, like up to $10 an hour, but the Republicans have fought that. And I'd like kids to have vouchers that they could go to whatever school they want. And in our flat tax proposal, it will be increasing taxes on big business and corporations. They're using tax-exempt status a lot of times to avoid anything. So yeah, it seems like we're in a lot of agreement. I do understand what money is. It's imaginary. The printed money that is going on right now by the Federal Reserve is weakening the imaginary value of your imaginary dollars. The real dollars that are in your pocket can still go down to Best Buy and you can get a nice LCD TV for maybe even an LED TV for $500. And what do you mean we don't want? Yeah, we want efficiency. And we can lower the amount of money the military-industrial complex gets from what Obama authorized, $692 billion, to around $350 billion. Well, apparently life is more than a facade to some people. But they're taking away your opportunity for a good life, rock out like crazy. They're bankrupting your future, these Democrats and Republicans. It is scary stuff, SF Pegasus. The Federal Reserve doesn't even need to exist. They're just buying time while this incredibly corrupt government continues to rape the American tax dollar. I know it is a store of immediate change, but it's also imaginary at this point. The Federal Reserve doesn't have any value to the money they're printing. They use a thing called the fractional reserve banking system. You need to look this up, Topper Dan, and realize that it's not based on value, and it doesn't promote a medium of exchange. It increases the amount of currency 10 to 1 based on the real number of dollars and the real value out there. What it's doing is basically expanding credit so fast that it turns all of your hard-earned dollars into nothing. Thank you, kidney thief. So you need to go back and study what the Federal Reserve is, Topper Dan. You need to get educated. You know, it's no, it's not imaginary to me, but I'm talking about what these Federal Reservists are engaged in. To me, every dollar counts. I mean, I count every penny. I do. I even still pick up pennies on the road. Sarah sees me. I do.
I know.
So to me, it's not imaginary. I use a method of austere living to survive in this tough economy. And many of you people are learning that same technique, whether you like it or not. Go educate yourself. No, you don't, Topper Dan. I don't think you've ever really understood that this private corporation, which is not part of the government except through quasi-governmental connections, is engaged in what is apparently a central bank, the very thing that Andrew Jackson, the founder of the Democratic Party, supported against. He was strongly against a central bank. So you people don't even know what you're talking about when you're allowing the Federal Reserve to print up money at such an alarming rate, and you've given Barack Obama a pass to just allow the Federal Reserve to drain your personal value of your money.
Exactly. We can never pay back more than is in circulation, so if they even charge us interest on what's in circulation, we'll never be able to pay it back.
Education is a state issue. Every state can make decisions about their use of federal dollars, too. Now, what I want to do with education funding is downsize the Department of Education's operating budget, firing a lot of unnecessary administrators, freeing up a lot of money. Let me tell you some statistics that are going to blow your mind. Are you ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. In the state of Washington, they get $10,600 per student for a one-year education. In some cases, with special needs kids, they get more than that. Okay, across the board, a classroom, a typical classroom, has 27 students. That's around $300,000 per classroom to operate it for 1 year. The teacher's salary is roughly around $50,000, including benefits. $35,000 to $50,000, including benefits. So, leaving $250,000. The amount of money that the students actually use to go to school in the budget is right around $1,500. So that means we're still missing like $240,000 from that budget. Somewhere it's being lost in the administrative costs. $240,000 per classroom is huge. Bottom line is $10,000 is more than enough, and those kids have options of getting iPads, but the money's being stolen, siphoned off the top. They're skimming. The federal and state budget in education is being skimmed, big time. I mean, I'm talking huge amounts being sucked out. Plus, let's not forget what cops make. Yeah. Let's talk about public works and how much they're sucking money out of the system. Folks, we've got the most corrupt group of people running our country we could ever imagine. We have what is called a kakistocracy. It is a state matter, Topper Dan, and that's why I'm addressing the state of Washington. The state of Washington is leaking like a sieve at the education level. Leaking like a sieve. And the government mandates, the McGregor action that just recently went down, are being interpreted by the Democrats to mean more money needs to come in, more bond issues need to come in. But the McCleary ruling, the McCleary ruling stipulates that they just run efficiently, not that the government get more money. The Democrats are construing it as more money. The McCleary decision is specific to make it more efficient. That means they need to find out where that $240,000 per classroom is disappearing. I'm also broadcasting on Ballotcam. I'm full of facts, and I've got very good insight into where the budget is leaking. Trust me on this. We've got a lot of ideas about getting our nation under control with forensic auditors, et cetera, et cetera. All right.
Okay. All right. Our show is coming to a close. I want to say thank you all for coming in. It's always interesting, and I often learn a lot from talking with all of you. So it's really a pleasure to have these shows, and you can always check our videos. I just started doing these Google Hangouts, and so if you're on Google Plus and you ever want to do a Hangout, make sure you follow us. It's my Google Hangout or Google Plus address is plus.google.com/ and then the plus sign America's Third Party. So that's really where my where my hangouts take place, and then if you want to actually get into the video and do video with us on Google Hangout, then you need to ask us, and I can invite you to a show.
So this has been a really engaging show, I must say. We've had a lot of communication with the room. I'm not going to be telling what local state governments are going to do. I've said that top or down. I'm telling you, I'm not going to try to dictate what happens at the education level, but I will be shrinking the federal number of federal jobs in the education field. And what I want to do, and I wanted to get to this, I support a voucher plan. I'm going to just be upfront about that. I would like to see homeschool families get money, not $10,000 a year, but money to teach their kids. And I want to integrate that with online learning opportunities. And guess what? The Department of Education will be about producing free content, free kits for learning robotics, solar energy, wind power, and getting those kits out there to 4th and 5th graders, 6th graders, 7th graders, anybody who wants to get involved in renewable energy, anyone who wants to learn about electronics, anyone who wants to learn about coding and programming. We want to get kids jump-started into careers, you know, in areas that they think they want to enter at an early age, capture their motivation, their intrinsic desire to learn. So what the Department of Education will be is a producer of content. As opposed to dictating what we tell the states to do, we're going to offer free kits. And we're going to give those kits to the states to dispense as they see fit. This is not a waste of tax dollars. The waste of tax dollars is hiring administrators to sit around creating BS projects for teachers to waste their time learning and taking time away from the students. What we've seen, thank you, Luca, what we've seen in the past is a group of money-hungry administrators that are literally sucking the budget dry, pretending to do a job that they shouldn't be doing. They're full of crap, exactly. I came from a family of educators.
That looks good, real PR.
I came from a family of educators, and I can tell you that we have heard all the stories in my family about educators, about administrators wasting tax dollars. We want the people, the parents, the teacher, and the student, this triangle to get the motivation and the relationship necessary to grow. I don't want to punish teachers for bad students. I don't want to in any way lower the cost at schools that have bad records in their students. I'm not going to be like No Child Left Behind. That was a mistake. I'm going to try to give them the necessary content and production solutions for growing a good, solid curriculum for the kids. We don't want this to just die on the vine right now. I think testing is okay. Minimal testing is okay, but an emphasis on testing is a waste of time. I mean, they take 2 to 3 weeks every single year out of the school year to test the kids without even providing answers to the questions. Vane Cam wants me as a Florida governor. Thank you. Yeah, No Child Left Behind. All the kids are left behind. You know, the governor, the former governor, Gregoire of the state of Washington, said that she would not give anyone a high school diploma that didn't pass an exit exam. She gave the exit exam, and 47% of them failed. And she still gave them a high school diploma. Basically, kids today are just trying to get by. We need to give them we need to give them solid skills, life skills, banking skills, credit skills, so they understand how to move forward in life as opposed to going deep into debt.
That's what I think I think that's right, Hammer.
Mentor Mozumba, I have nothing to dump. I've done nothing wrong. A lot of you guys who keep trying to pin the tail of racism on the donkey here, you're flying in the dark. You don't even understand what this country's about. I have every right to question this incompetent president you picked. I have every right to tell you that I am not like him and show you in video form using parody. I know. My birth certificate is online because Obama's wasn't. My birth certificate is online because I am here to not hide from anything. And my selective service documents are online as well, and they're not forged like Obama's are. Yeah, kidney thief. Yeah, convince Topper Dan to run for something. Maybe run to the bathroom. I am 54 years old, yeah. I'm 1 year older than Barack Obama.
It's at americasthirdparty.com/about. You can see David's birth certificate. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you over there at the Google Hangout. Appreciate you listening into this recorded broadcast.